This is Jack Burton in the Pork Chop Express, and I'm talking to whoever's listening out there.
It's a pretty amazing planet we live on here, and a man would have to be some kind of fool to think we're all alone in this universe.
There is a hidden world where ancient evil weaves a modern mystery.
What's going on here? Is this some kind of...
Magic. The darkest magic.
They call it Little China.
Finally, we shall bring order out of chaos.
It's where big trouble was waiting for Jack Burton.
Who? Jack Burton. Me.
Jack! Jack! Jack!
They told him to go to hell.
You make one move.
And that's just where he's going.
Somebody, I don't care who, tell me what is going on.
How are you gonna spring us?
I have no idea. There are many mysteries, many unanswerable questions, even in a life as short as yours.
My destiny rests in your capable hands.
Hey, I'll do my best.
Oh, God, is this really happening?
This is gonna take Cracker Jack timing, Wang. 1, 2, 3. We may be trapped.
Total concentration.
Safety. Yeah.
You ready, Jack?
I was born ready.
Way to go, Jack.
Jack Burton's coming to rescue your summer.
Hey, what more can a guy ask for?
20th Century Fox presents Kurt Russell in John Carpenter's Big Trouble in Little China.
It's all in the reflexes.
Even the trailer's fun. Tonight on Monday Night Mayhem, we're talking about Big Trouble in Little China, a 1986 fantasy action comedy film directed by legendary director of independent film John Carpenter, starring Kurt Russell, Kim Cattrall, Dennis Dunn, and James Hong of account. And the film tells the story of truck driver Jack Burton. Who? Jack Burton, me, who helps his friend Wang Chi rescue his kidnapped green-eyed fiancée. They go into the mysterious underworld beneath Chinatown, where they'll face an ancient sorcerer named David Lopan, who requires a woman with green eyes to marry him in order to be released from a centuries-old curse. Now, despite receiving positive reviews, the film was a commercial failure, grossing only $11.1 million in North America, below its estimated $19 to $25 million budget. This left Carpenter disillusioned with Hollywood and influenced his decision to return to independent filmmaking. The film gained a steady audience on home video, DVD, and Blu-ray, and has since become an absolute cult classic, and I agree with that. This film is fantastic. Tonight, joining me are Tony Stark. Welcome to the stream, sir.
It's a pleasure to be here, my friend. And cult classic is a bit of an understatement. This has the right combination of schlock, fast-paced exposition dumps, laughs, and great kung fu choreography, especially within the first act with the gang fight outside whenever Jack pulls in with the truck after he's like, Wang's like, oh, we gotta save my girl. He got captured by these thugs.
It's certainly a gangbang with Wang, really, if you think about it. Also on the stream tonight is Northern English Bastard. Welcome to the channel, sir.
Hello, you beautiful bastards, and thanks for inviting me on this stream. I love this movie. I just love it. It's, like you said, it's very schlocky, but John Carpenter can do schlock very cleverly. He can do.
Yeah, if you can pull it off and make it work in your favour, then you know you're onto a winner, and that's what John Carpenter got here. It was gold. It's a shame audiences at the time didn't realise how culturally important this film would end up being.
I know, and it's such a shame that it did not get the proper marketing it needed. I mean, even though the test audiences were actually very positive.
It's usually the case. Also on the channel tonight is Melvin Deepliest. Welcome, sir. How are you?
Greetings. How are we doing, people?
All right, generally. I don't know about the rest of you guys. How are you?
I'm pretty mellow.
Yeah, I didn't really care. It's just the thing. I'm just doing the thing. This is a fantastic movie. This is perfect for what it is. It's one of those things that doesn't take itself too seriously. It's silly, but it's supposed to be silly. Action-packed. Good
I think
dialogue.
that's a part of its charm, really, isn't it?
Good effects. Yeah, that's the thing. It knows what it is, and a lot of films don't. It knows it's silly fun.
It is, and that's why it's just widely loved. Hello to everybody in the chat tonight. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to everybody else who's tuned in through YouTube, Twitch, and via X as well. Hello to the Hooded Man, the Wayfarer Project. Also, Flavs here as well, or Oldest Gamer. Hello, Gamer. How are you? Who else have we got? Just scrolling through. Just bear with me 1 second. Carl Voigtlander, he's in there too. Thank you for joining us tonight. Who else? Let me just scroll through. This thing does not move fast enough. Anybody would think I would move into a different platform shortly. Ashen Prism, hello to you too. Franco Walker. And who else have we got? It doesn't move fast enough, this chat thing. Gavin Blackburn, Timey Wimey Limey, hello you. How you diddling? Tomby's in there as well. Thank you for joining us. And who else? Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else? I think that's about it up to press. Oh, Badfoot's in there as well. And also to Feltz5. I'll get round to the chat in just a moment. And what I will do is start with some slides. And you've got to love Egg Shen. He's a mystical sorcerer. He's over 2,000 years old. He hates David Lopan. And electricity companies hate him because he can charge his own phone up.
It's true. It's very true.
I like this scene at the beginning. It's like he's there with a lawyer. There's a stenographer in the background. And he's doing all this, and I just absolutely love the look of this guy's face in just a second. Look at that.
Murray Hamilton, isn't it?
I don't know.
The mayor from Jaws, is that him, or am I wrong?
No, that's another actor, but he has played a lot of these dodgy politician type roles
like
in the 80s.
He's the guy who played Deep Throat in Series 1 of The X-Files. He was Fox Mulder's source. So there you go. There's something. But yeah, he's been in loads of things. He's one of those character actors. You see him in a lot of things. You couldn't actually name him unless you looked on IMDb. You wouldn't be able to just say, "Oh, that's Steve Doofawhat's-it." You wouldn't be able to say that at all.
Is that his real name? I have to double check that.
I don't know, Melv. In fact, I'll look it up.
I swear, until this moment, I thought that was Murray Hamilton.
It could be Murray Head for all I know, to be fair.
The other thing is, you could still remove that first scene and it still wouldn't play no different because John Carpenter did not want that scene in the movie, but he was forced into doing it. He just wanted to start straight away with Jack Burton in his truck, doing his kind of ramblings in his, with his comms, like just like the badass he is.
Yeah, he likes to do his monologue on his CB in his truck while he's eating a hoagie. I'm sure that's really safe and legal. Yeah, there he is. This is Jack Burton on the Pork Chop Express, and I'm talking to anybody who's listening. I just love that. It's some great dialogue.
Yeah.
I love the John Wayne. I love the John Wayne-ism.
Yeah, it's got, what the hell is going on here?
Who the hell are you? You know?
That's basically most of his dialogue, him wondering what the fuck is going on.
Pretty much. So Jack Burton's driving to a Chinese market in San Francisco. While he's there, he catches up with his old friend, Wang. Everybody needs a friend like Wang.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get bored of saying that at all. So Jack's having a game of like Chinese dominoes or something like that. Some Chinese 5s and 3s. And after the game, we have this scene. Nothing or double.
Bullshit. Nothing to double, Jack.
Why, man? Don't be stupid.
I need the money.
I got near $1,000
The reflex.
1,148.
Not that bottle. This bottle.
Okay.
You're out of your mind, Wang. God bless you. It's all in the reflexes.
That will not pay off. No way is that a setup for a payoff.
No.
Chekhov's gun, please.
You know, going back to the picture of the poster of Big Trouble in Little China, yeah, I think someone mentioned in Twitter, is that supposed to look like Kurt Russell? Well, apparently I found out Kurt Russell said the same thing when he first saw the poster. I mean, look what they've done to his face on it, man.
Yeah, I noticed that. Somebody put that. Of course it's Kurt Russell. So anyway, Jack wants his money, and Wang Chi says, oh, I ain't got that kind of cash. I'm just a poor old Chinese boy. And Jack says, you've got a restaurant. That's more than me. I've got a pig truck.
Wang
So
being a wanker.
he says, yeah. He says, you can't stop me. I've got to go and pick a girl up. And he's like, yeah, I believe you. He says, look, get in my truck, mate. You're not going anywhere. So Jack's taking Wang. Well, is anybody doing a Wang count tonight?
I wish I had some whiskey so I could take a drink every time someone says Wang.
Oh, God. You'll be arseholed in 30 minutes or less.
Wang counts as a habit I've been trying to quit.
That's like playing the Cobra drinking game with the G.I. Joe movie.
Yeah.
But I don't like the fact these two have chemistry, mad chemistry straight away. I mean, you get these two. Wang is sort of just a very straightforward, naive, sort of kind guy, and Jack Burton's just this all-American sort of asshole, but he's still got this charm to him.
Well, if you noticed, Wang develops as a character all the way through this film. He starts off like this naive, almost childlike kind of, guy. And towards the end of the film, he's like Rambo's left arm. He's quite a sturdy chap. So Jack's taking Wang to the airport, and he says, I'm going to pick up a girl. He says, all right. He says, I picked up chicks all over the place, but never one from China. Well, he's not picking one up from China. He's picking up from the airport. This is Mao Yin, played by Susie Pie. And I'd like to have a slice of that pie.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Oh, man. She
was in Penthouse magazine in 1981.
Really?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, wow.
Hello, Google.
I'm going to be having a look for that. In fact, she was in Rambo First Blood as Vietnamese prostitute number 3.
Scene was cut, though.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame. 1981 Penthouse. Right. I'm going to be I'm going to be looking for that. Post-it note. The only thing what lets some of these scenes down with the ladies, especially Mao Yin and Gracie Law, is those contact lenses look shocking. They're massive. They're like the ones Andreas Katsoulas had in Babylon 5 when he played Jakar. They were like really big. Do you know what I mean? They really stick out. But I've got to admit, for an Asian girl, she's. What
do you mean for an Asian girl?
Well,
she is cute. She is actually cute, yeah.
You won't kick her out of bed, bastard,
No,
would you?
She'd probably kung fu my ass out of bed. Who knows?
Sorry about that. There's a lot of traffic up and downstairs in this house. I'm going to get a taser. So anyway, at the airport, Wang's looking for Mao Yin. He's ordered out, and Jack notices, because he's always on the lookout. He's a sharp guy. And he notices this lady here, Kim Cattrall, as Gracie Law. She was the epitome of the 80s sort of like cheesy movie, borderline, sort of near star, wasn't she, in a lot of films?
Police Academy. Yeah, she did a lot of these raunchy roles, and I think she was... John Carpenter wanted her, but the studio didn't. They wanted another actress. I forgot who it was they wanted, but I think it was like a rock star they wanted in the role. Something like that.
Ah.
But she's very good in it, though. She's very sharp. She's very witty, and she does have a great big, nice bit of back and forth with Jack Burton as well, which was. I think the dialogue was inspired from the old Fetches movies, like His Girl Friday. Like little sort of sharp back and forth between the two romantic leads.
So anyway, Jack being the man he is, he just walks up to her and he says, you know, do you fancy jumping in the sack? And she's like, sure, but not with anybody in your condition. He says, oh, well, let's talk about my condition. And then some Chinese street punks barge in between the conversation. They've essentially cock-blocked Jack. The bastards. You don't...
Wrong move.
Yeah, nobody cock-blocks Jack Burton. And he's like, hey, whoa. And they turn around and look at him. Interesting.
Those fucking glasses.
The eyewear, man.
He looks like the Sperminator, that other guy, doesn't he? Oh, dear. The Chinese knockoff of the Terminator.
Yes.
Which reminds me, just briefly going off on a tangent, when you see some mainstream movies and they're released in different countries, the synopsises of the films are actually better than the films themselves. The one for Alien that's doing the rounds at the moment is really good. I like that one if you've seen it. If not, I shall supply a pic later on. But just a quick note here to another John Carpenter film. Anybody see They Live?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, best documentary ever.
Yeah, it's funny how that's coming to life. You know, at the end where the young lady's having a bit of a ride, and the guy says, hey, baby, what's wrong? And he's one of the ghouls. The ghoul is the guy on the left-hand side in the really big dark sunglasses. That's Jeffy Marder. He played the ghoul in that scene.
Oh, awesome.
So he's a regular...
This guy. He must have liked this guy because John Carpenter does get a lot of these regular actors in, especially the guy who plays Egg in the beginning. He's in Prince of Darkness as well.
Mm. Yeah. He does. Well, a lot of directors have a stable of actors they like to fall back on. So Jack sort of narrowly avoids kicking off, and he looks at Wang and he's like, "Yeah, where's the Johnny machine? I'm in here, mate."
It's really strange. He's at the airport and he goes, "You know what? I've got time for a shag. Let's have a go here."
Yeah, it's all right, love. There's a bog over there. Come on, you'll love it. I'll even pull your knickers back up when I finish with you.
What a gentleman.
So anyway, she does one on him, and he turns around, and this old bird's ear. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna frack you, Jack Burton," and he's like, "No, you're not, love. You've not emptied your colostomy bag."
Yeah,
So we get this bit here where these three street punks, which they get referred to lovingly. I mean, the guy on the left, yeah, you could see him as a street punk. The guy in the middle, borderline, but the one on the right, he just looks like some weirdo in a video shop.
Looks like Corey Feldman.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, so anyway, this is Tara. She's coming to the United States to start again, basically, and have a shout at having a life, basically. But so's Mao Yin's coming through customs. I'd have held her up for a bit of a strip search. Would you, Melv? Yeah, of course you would. Don't you? You're mulling it over. That's bullshit. You would be checking that out.
Well, we have to be professionals in life sometimes, don't we?
Yeah, or unprofessionals.
Yeah.
Okay, Kim Cattrall or Susie Pie? Who's your choice? Here,
Susie Pie. Easy. That's the kind of pie I want.
Yeah.
So anyway, Wang Chi's really happy that his mail order bride's arrived.
Correct.
So we're getting a bit of bother at the airport.
What? Did you get that?
Where'd you get
that? Oh, sorry, Jack, you're on your ass. But the cracking, cheesy scenes, but really, really well done in places. Yeah. And I like that. This film has charm, it has character, and it's got a damn lot of appeal, I think. And it still holds now than,
definitely,
you know, when it was out in the 80s. So, Jack, oh, hang on, I've titted up. Nothing new here, eh? So, anyway, let me just find the video.
You know, this was originally supposed to be a Western set in the
1880s.
Yeah, it was going to be his horse, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Not his truck.
So, anyway, let me go back a scene.
Bitch must pay.
Gonna pay.
Ooh. I like where's going boot.
Yeah, that looks like the broken.
This son of a bitch must pay.
Classic lines. You just don't get dialogue in films like you used to.
Yeah,
Absolutely not.
I think the last
Classic.
thing I remember was "There's something in the water," but that's used as a fucking joke, isn't it?
Yeah. Something in the water. So they head to Chinatown, where these Lords of Death hang out. And Jack goes down this seedy alley. We've all been round a seedy alley from time to time. Hopefully not a cursed alley. So Jack winds his window down. Excuse me, love. I'm looking for these. And she's like, she's really pleased to see him. And she chuffs off. That's one way of answering somebody, isn't it? You know, just completely disappear. But look who's there. And why is he sniffing shoes?
Yeah, that man's a fucking weird guy. He is.
He is, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
He is. He's been in the bins, and he's found somebody's shoe. It's a pump. He's sniffing plimsolls, dirty bastard.
Better
He's
than
giving
most
it-
of those deeds, I suppose.
No kink shame, but no kink same.
Yeah, he'll be getting his wang out in a bit, won't he? Not the one in Jack's truck. So anyway, they pull up, and Jack notices there's a guy with a meat cleaver walking at the side of his truck. As you do. I mean, you do that in broad daylight, don't you? You walk down the street with a fucking cleaver in your hand. Everybody does it.
Al
And,
Leong again, isn't it? Is it Al Leong?
I don't.
The guy with the beard, the Chinese actor with the beard who's in everything.
Oh, yes. Al Young, did you say?
Leong.
Yeah, that's it. I know it was something like that. It's amazing, this alley's in the middle of nowhere. You can barely fit a lorry down it, and yet there's a funeral procession coming down. Why didn't they block the end of the street off? These and more questions will not be answered. So anyway, there's a funeral procession, and these guys are the... Anybody care to tell us who they are? Chan Sings. Too slow.
The yellow
forgotten, man. Hey,
bandana.
The yellow turbans. These are the good guys.
Yeah.
But this guy here, right? Interesting story. I've forgotten his name already, but he auditioned like crazy doing martial arts. He took one of his students with him, and he was chucking his student left, right, and centre. And then John Carpenter gives him a character that only uses guns instead of martial arts. But I like that. Dual gold guns. So
Ivory handles.
Yeah, Wang's like, don't say anything. Why not? He says, Chinese standoff. Not at all racist at all. So this guy here, he's kind of like the leader of the pack. And he does this, he gives it some of that, and they all kick off. And it's all guns a-blazing. And they dare to sabotage this guy's funeral and just desecrate his coffin, basically. Nice Kalashnikov. So this coffin takes a bit of a licking. And, oh, look, a Thompson as well. There's some classic guns in this film.
Oh, real old school, man.
Yeah. Doesn't Jack end up with is it a TAC 9 or a TAC 15 or something like that?
TAC 9, I think it is.
Yeah. So that coffin's shagged, basically, and everybody splits. And there's a bit of a good scene where there's a bit of fighting cracking off, and the Chan Sings are up against the Wing Kong. And if you notice, some of the Wing Kong who get, like, done over come back as Chan Sings, and they're basically fighting themselves but in different scenes.
Yes.
Very racist, wasn't it?
They recycled the extras.
Yeah,
So
I think there
Jack's
was another change in this as well. Apparently, it was supposed to be confusing, make you wonder whose side was which, but they made John Carpenter sort of like change it to make it look like the whites were the good guys or the blacks were the bad guys, blah, 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 all that stuff.
There's one interesting bloke, and he's on the Wing Kong side, and he doesn't even look Chinese. He just screws his face up. Did you notice that guy? I think we've got a shot of him getting a bit of a leather in later. So Jack starts sort of getting a bit edgy, and then we build up to this secondary scene where all the gang members get ready to face off.
The melee.
Oh, yeah. But they're not very happy. You know how they say a crowd turns ugly?
Yeah, none of them were pretty. Dan Inosanto was one of these men in this fight, and I couldn't spot him during the film. I couldn't find him, so maybe I'm racist as well.
Oh, you never know.
He's like a martial arts actor from Bruce Lee's time.
Really? Ah. I've got another video scene coming up after this, but this fight gets rudely interrupted by some green light and a bunch of chaps jumping out of a portal, as you do. And this is where we're introduced to Thunder, played by Victor Kwong, who's a big actor back in the Hong Kong days of kung fu movies, and he's an acclaimed martial artist. And he looks badass as well, if you think about it.
Yeah, and these were all influenced. They all ended up influencing the Mortal Kombat characters as
That's
well.
what I was about to say.
Characters.
Not to get too tangential, Lightning in particular is the inspiration for Raiden.
Well, we called him Gaiden because he wasn't quite Raiden, was he? So here's Rain. He's like the Thunder's like the second in command, isn't he? After Lopan, then this guy's the second lieutenant, and then we get Lightning, who turns up, and he's like the junior member of the group, isn't he? And at this point, go on.
Love Lightning, the way he rides down on the bolt and the way they froze that bolt for him to like ride back up when he was done was really awesome.
Yeah, it's not bad. Well, if you're a demigod and you can control the elements like that, you're going to do it, aren't you? Yeah. It's cheaper than a taxi.
That Thunder, he's quite burly. He looks like an Asian Haley Atwell.
Oh, swappers! Oh dear. So anyway, these three guys get these. This is an interesting continuity error here. Did anybody know that they're actually Gurkha knives?
Yeah, I just looked it up. Apparently, it was used by the Gurkhas in the British military.
Yeah. These are Nepalese knives, not actually Chinese knives.
They bother each other. They could have had some crossover.
Well, you never know. Well, I love that thing. They just sort of hold the hand out, and these knives just flip into the hands, and they start doing all the moves. And then they do this amazing, like, jump forward, do a throw, and they get, like, the three guys on the front row. If you put those guys on bullseye, they'd come away with that caravan or that metro, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
That's an easy win.
Yeah. There was no reason for him to flip forward and throw it anyway. They could have just thrown it, but I thought, fuck it, we're demigods, let's show off a little bit.
I like that scene. That was a real throwback to the old 70s martial arts films.
Oh, it's got to be over the top and hyperbole. That's one thing about these films that make them what they are. You've got to have that unbelievable element, what makes you like go, what?
I love it whenever.
And then we get to this bit.
Yeah. It's a cool fucking fight scene, though.
The melee.
I meant to play this before we got through that bit, but look at that guy there. That's a proper mean-looking so-and-so.
The face of an 80s henchman.
Yeah.
We're coming up on a line that Jack drops, which is hilarious because it's a fourth wall line. He's like, these guys are coming in on wires.
You gotta love it, though.
Yeah.
You've got to absolutely love it. I mean, I think it's the cheese what really, really sells this thing.
Yeah, Kurt Russell was really reluctant to do this as well because he thought he was gonna ruin John Carpenter's movie, but John Carpenter was like, "No, I want you in this movie. I just want to make this movie with you. That's it."
This was their fourth film together, I think.
The thing is, you have your stable of actors, like I said before, and it's good that he did because when he was in The Thing as MacReady, he was just he was great in that film.
He was.
He's just the atypical, cool badass, like when he was Snake Plissken twice as well.
Yeah, and here he's just playing it tongue in cheek. He he's in on the joke. That's what I love about Kurt Russell. He is willing to make himself look like the bumbling fool, but they don't just make him useless. He does still come through in the end. I mean, in the end, it is him that kills Lopan with that little it's all on the wrist flick.
There we go, everybody. That wraps the film up. We know our Lopan dies now. Thank you for joining us this evening.
I was hoping Lopan would win.
Well, yeah.
Lopan retired and opened a company that sold bedpans. Lopan's bedpans. Now you can.
We take the piss, literally.
It was Kurt Russell. It was just playing a big Wayne in this, wasn't he? He was just playing like a big idiot.
Let's check out another clip from the film. This is how you deal with things.
Everybody else moved out the way, but I didn't. I leaped forward like a badass.
Well, there you go, Jack. That's your no claims bonus, bollocks. Now, to say Lopan's a ghost, right? Why did he make a thud when Jack hit him?
That is true.
There are a lot of silly little things what sort of go against the little contradictions like that.
But they're on purpose. It's obviously on purpose.
Yeah. But anyway, Jack's a doink. He gets out and he has a look. And then he's met with this guy. He's 10 feet tall. He's 7. Oh, that's another. The dialogue in this film is just cracking.
Oh, yeah.
But I like this bit here. Not only has he got, like, shiny eyes, he's also got death breath. And it kind of... You need a tic-tac, mate, or some Listerine.
What's better than eye lasers? A mouth laser.
Yeah. I like that. That's cool. So anyway, Lopan says, "Don't look, Jack. I already did." It's the way he says it's like, yeah, I've screwed up. Don't worry about it. So anyway, Wang drags Jack down an alley. It's not going to get boring at all, is it? And he's like, "I can't see." It says, "Oh, it's all right. It'll wear off shortly." And as you do, you get your mate to chuck some really clean puddle water in your face. There could be cat piss or anything. Or use Johnny. There could be anything in that water.
Yeah, people were dying over there a minute ago. Who knows what's in there?
Yeah. Oh, look, there's a certain car in the background there. And then they flick the lights on. And there's that guy with the Sperminator glasses in the background. And he goes, "Hey, Wang Chi, looking for us? They know your name. We're in trouble." And then they leg it. They beat it. So anyway, Jack and Wang head back into the alley, and there's all this fighting going off. This scene here is very reminiscent of another scene from They Live. You know when the refugee camp across the church gets cleared out by the JCBs and the cops at night?
Yeah.
And Nada's escaping. It's very reminiscent of that, because what does he do? He jumps into an open window in a building, just like this scene here. And it's just really reminiscent of that. And then that guy's going, "What's happening, man? World War III?" That's another great film.
Carpenter watermarks, man.
Yeah. You got to love them, though. So anyway, Wang and Jack have stumbled into this cellar, and Jack's stepping backwards. And he gets some skidders because this guy goes, "Whoa!" And he's like, oh, it's all right. I'm not going to cack it. Don't worry. You're all right there. Who's wheezing in the background?
No, I'm stifling my laughter.
Oh, you're all right. You laugh away, mate. And Jack's like, "You all right, mate? I'm Chinese, dude. I don't speak a word of English." "Well, it's all right. I don't speak Chinese." So Wang does a bit of translating. And he's like, "What's cracking off?" And it's like, "Oh, yeah, the storms and Lopan and, Lords of Death." And then the door cracks open and they have to leg it again, basically. And they scuttle through some tunnels where Jack decides to take his cardigan off. Hey, that's the sign of a hard action hero, when you're not afraid to take off your cardigan.
Correct.
He's a hard bastard.
Guns out, guns out. It's just the rules.
And this movie just not mess about. It gets straight to the point, and it doesn't slow down either. I mean, it just keeps going.
It does. It
Doesn't
has
get
got a
boring.
certain pace to it, hasn't it? Where it's
Yeah.
just like, we're rolling now. Let's just keep going. If you don't like it, tough titty. Let's crack on.
I mean, you've got the characters straight down to a T, straight away. No heavy exposition. It's just all
Right.
shown. No dialogue is needed. No, it's all visually shown, like
Yeah.
proper movies should be doing. Visually shot, thought out.
They had to squeeze a lot in. I think Carpenter wanted it to be longer. But even the opening credits is setting up the scene, isn't it? He's driving it in San Francisco.
Yeah, well, he does it. He does all the exposition there and all the explaining, and there's a bit of foreshadowing in there as well.
The thing I like about the exposition of this film is whenever they start getting into the mystical parts of it, they only scratch the surface. They answer a question with an answer, and there is hardly any connotation throughout.
True.
And
There's
I
a-
like that. I like that.
There's a lot
That's
of
the thing about-
exposition with Kim Cattrall and the
Mhm.
reporter as well, and
Marco.
it's just like ridiculous exposition. They just to like explain it like you're reading it straight from the page, But it works in this film because it is supposed to be silly. Do you know who the reporter is?
Margot.
That's Richard Burton's daughter.
Is it?
It is.
Really?
Yeah.
I dropped the ball there because that slipped right through my research radar.
Kate Burton, I think her name is,
Oh, yeah, it is. I remember now.
with his first wife. He had a daughter with
Ah.
Elizabeth Taylor as well, who was also hideous.
Well, I don't know. I'd give Margot a go.
Rather you, but that's
I don't
okay.
mind a ginger box.
I'll,
The more
I'll
you
have-
know, ladies and
I've
gentlemen.
had worse.
I'll have Miss Pie then, if you'd rather have that one.
Hey, I'm married. I don't get anything. I'm up for well, dreaming anyway. So anyway, after Wang and Jack get away, they go to Wang's restaurant, Dragon of the Black Pool, Cantonese cuisine, 4-star rated. They're on Just Eat now, if they're still going, probably. And we're introduced to Uncle Chu, who works for Wang. Do you know why has he got to have such a name?
It's a weird name. It's weird.
All
name.
of the names are deliberately Chinese stereotypes.
Yeah, we used to have a takeaway in the village where I grew up, and it was called the Wong Cock. And nobody ever believed us. That is a great name. And then they got shut down because when you went in, it said on the back, it looked like Mouse Special, but everybody went, oh, well, the Chinese, they probably can't do M's and H's properly. It's House Special. No, it was actually fucking Mouse Special, and they got shut down eventually. Bless them. So Jack's on the phone trying to get hold of Mutual Fidelity Insurance of Sacramento, California, because he's paying them 6 G's a year in premiums, and he's having a hard time, and he's dealing with a switchboard, and he says, my truck's gone. There's people flying around, and then this Lopan character, and Uncle Chu's like, what did you just say? And then he says, Wang says, it didn't happen like that. And he did, and Jack says, yeah, it did, Uncle Chu, about 2 hours ago. And then we're introduced to Eddie, and he's like, oh, I'm the head maitre d' and a whole lot more. So that was your abandoned truck. And he's like, abandoned like hell. And he's just telling him that the Lords of Death, the Wing Kong of Nick Jack's truck, which is a shame, really. And Jack's not best pleased. I mean, he's dressed up in a silk kimono, for God's sake. And then we're introduced to this lass here, and you might remember her from the airport. It's Kim Cattrall's character, Gracie Law. And there's a bit of this tension, and I like this, because there's the ultimate reversal at the end of the film. I'm not going to mention it now, but Jack's just basically, he's gagging for her. And it works out brilliantly in the end, because he kind of turns it around. The shoe's on the other foot by the end of the film, but we'll get round to that a little bit later on. So, Grace is like, oh, yeah, this is my neighborhood and all this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. And she's just basically a bit of a gobshite, really. She thinks she's a lawyer, And we don't really see any proof of that, to be fair.
No.
She could be just full of it. And she's basically saying, I know the ins and outs of what's going around here. And she says, the word on the street is Lopan. And Jack, as you do, when you're in a Chinese restaurant, you just help yourself to a number 69 while his moist clothes are dangling over a cooker. That's, that food rating's gone from a 4 down to a 3. I don't know about you, lads. What do you reckon? Would you order from there?
Look at the fucking kitchen. I mean, there's a lot of grease marks on there as well.
Yeah.
It's like...
Nice. You got to have a bit of a greasy Chinese, haven't you?
Yeah.
So the word is that Mao Yin is probably at the White Tigress, and it's funny this. Gracie Law drives a pink Cadillac. Now, there's nothing like being incognito, is there? You drive around in a fucking pink Cadillac. Hello.
She's probably
Elvis. Is that you?
I don't know. It's a pimpmobile, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe she's pimping.
Legally, mind you, she's pimping legally. Legally,
Yeah.
she's a lawyer.
Yeah, she's lawyered up and she's pimping it large. So the plan is for Jack to go in to the White Tigress. And look at those contact lenses. They are a travesty. Look at them. They look.
Susie Pie had contacts as well. They were both brown-eyed. It's
Yeah.
I think the HD has really emphasized it as well.
Yeah. And what's worse is, I'm going to get some flack for this. Kim Cattrall's a Scouser. That makes it worse, doesn't it? Who knew?
That just means she's up for a lot more.
Hey, it's all right. Like I swallow, I don't like wasting. Oh, God, I've got visions of bread going through my head now. So Jack's dressed up in some really... Where did they find these clothes? Whose clothes are these? Like you wear some randomer's fucking clothes.
I know, and they actually seem to fit pretty well.
John Carpenter's clothes.
I don't know. I mean, they could stink of piss or weed or out. You don't know. Them underpants could be as skiddy as hell. And you've got to go in there, Jack. You've got to get my missus before she gets a tuppence raided. And Eddie's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Less mention of the tuppence, the better. It's a family film. It's only a 15. And Kim Cattrall's like, fuck off. Have you seen Porky's? I got my muff out. Oh, lassie.
That
She was
part
classy.
in Porky's cost her a bigger part in something else, and I can't remember what it is for the life of me.
What, this?
No, in Porky's.
Oh.
Yeah. Because she got a kit off in Porky's, there was a big part that she almost got, but didn't get because of Porky's, and I can't remember the name of the film. That's going to annoy me now.
She's still got Police Academy and Mannequin, or was Mannequin the punishment?
Punishment for us, I reckon.
I don't know. I think it's a bag of shite film, to be fair. So she says, Jack will go in there, just pretend to look stupid. And she goes, yeah, it's all right. He already does.
Yeah.
Which deserves that look. He's like, fuck you. That is the biggest fuck you I've ever seen in a film. The look on his face just says it all. Hi, I'm Henry Swanson. Fucking about's my game. I'm here for a punt, love. he looks like a punter, doesn't he? He dressed like that.
He does. He does. He looks like a Dweeble after pip.
I've got a bit of a scab on my bollock, but it'll be all right. It'll wash off, love. I'll let you suck it off. And he says, I'm up for some fun. The taxi driver says, maybe I could do you for a £5. And she's like, no, fuck off. You wouldn't do that for a £5. I wouldn't let her do me for a £5. I'd want more money than that. So anyway, this is Margot Litzenberger. She's a reporter. And reporters in films are usually arseholes. And Margot's a bit of one, really. And as Bastard normally rightly says, it's Kate Burton, Richard Burton's daughter. And now you've said it, I can see it. I can see his face in hers.
I'm no a bastard. That's the other guy.
No, not you, Melv. You might be a bastard, but you're our bastard. Do you prefer bastard or bastard bastard?
I don't mind. I don't mind, to be honest. Bastard is funnier, but someone says bastard. It's okay.
I don't mind. I like to get it right, because...
Yeah, you say bastard. It's just mostly just me being an asshole to YouTube and putting in a rude name and getting away with it.
It's all right. It's because I'm doing a rather inordinate amount of swearing tonight, and I promised myself when I started my channel I wouldn't use rum
You've
words.
clearly not watched my bloody streams when it comes.
Oh,
to
I have. I've
swearing.
been watching your streams with much hilarity, sir. I'm loving your channel. In fact, everybody can give themselves a plug at the end. So Gracie says, "Hang on a minute, lads. I recognise that car," and it's funny. She chuffs off to go to Margot's car, and this is what I heard here. Wang's like, "Would you do her?" And Eddie's like, Nah, there's no way I'd do her. And I agree. She just, I don't know, you don't put your dick in crazy.
Correct.
So she gets in
sometimes.
Yeah, don't remind me.
But only if you're crazy enough.
Yeah. And although Kim Cattrall does look a lot better with wet hair, she says, "We've got our best man in there stirring the pot," which just... bullshit factory just springs to mind. He's stirring a pot all right, but she's from Hong Kong. And Margot's like, I really need this story. Whoa. She's been working the lost pets section and the free ads for about 2 years. She's looking to get a Pulitzer Prize, isn't she, on the first go?
Yeah.
I could see Richard Burton in her face now you've said that. You know how they say you can't unsee something once you've seen it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think she's quite biffy for an older lass. Mind you, I'm older than her at that point. So anyway, Jack's here looking through the books. And what's he doing? Not looking in the books, but he's checking out that bird's arse.
Mm-hmm.
Much like that famous picture from the Viz. Dear Viz, can you print a picture of that bloke kissing that bird's arse? I love that. If you know, you know. Does everybody know in the chat about that picture? You know? That picture of that bloke kissing that bird's arse? I'm going to get round to the chat at the end of these slides because I'm neglecting the chat, and I do apologise, but I'm having so much fun with this film. But look at him, what's he thinking there? Yeah, I'd do her in shitter.
Yeah.
And I don't want the toilet.
He's been on that lonely road for too long.
do her hard.
Any asshole, though.
Yeah. He's fed up of porking pigs. You might as well, you know. He fancies the Chinese tonight. Good job this channel is monetized. So this is not Mrs. O'Toole. I forgot what this chick's name is. Oh, anyway. She's the head pimp. And she's like...
Wong.
Yes, that's it. There we go. And she's like, cash or charge? And he's like, well, you know, cash, it's not tax deductible. Henry Swanson's my game and spreading chlamydia's my game. Oh, I bet he's bollocks. But I like this bit, cash or charge. Oh, you want a fucky shucky? Oh, $10. Oh, bargain. Cheaper than
We love you long time.
Joe.
Anything you want.
And he says, what I'm really after is a girl with green eyes. And that catches her attention because she's like, what the fuck? How does he know about that?
5-0 fed.
I'll give you a tenner extra, love. And she's like, Chinese girls don't come with green eyes.
Correct.
And Jack's like, well, how about a bag? Well, what do you want a bag for? To pour over your fucking head, love, because you're fucking minging. So let's check out another video.
Take your tie off, please.
Yeah, I know what you mean. My wife gave it to me for Christmas.
I love that.
That's the kind of man you'd expect on a
Like
Brothel.
he's
The kind of
playing
man
the
who's
role.
buys him
He's
a tie for Christmas.
I know.
He's playing the role. Yeah, he's just into it.
Yeah. Plus,
Just
his
the way
trucker, he goes all over the places. He probably has listened to conversations of guys like who are genuinely like this, and he's kind of picking it up off them a little bit.
Yeah.
That's what I'm guessing from his character.
But he says it so nonchalantly, though. Like, he's not joking. He means it.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's are you all right there? Somebody just farted.
No, just move the table a little bit. That's all.
It's all right. You bastard.
You know what? That's given me a thought now. I'm starting to realise why he didn't go off with Kim Cattrall. He probably had a change of heart because he is bloody married. Who knows? We never really found out much about his backstory.
Yeah, that's true. So anyway, now we've got a bit of a rumble going off in the brothel. This happens.
Yeah. You hit like a bitch.
I just love that look on his face, like I've just cracked you twice. Never mind. Hey, lads.
Yeah.
Oh, just like, oh, fucked up. You know that it's like that meme. It was then, at that moment, he realized he'd fucked up. Oh, I am loving this film. Oh, it's such a cracking film. So after all this, oh dear, do excuse me. They get back to Gracie's apartment, and it basically boils down to what's going off. There's something you're not quite telling me. And Wang's like, well, it's a lot of Chinese oakum and a lot of bullshit. And he's going, yeah, tell me, just tell me, I can handle it. And just about at the moment where Wang's about to reveal all about Chinese black magic and whatnot, there's a convenient thunder and lightning strike, and the lights flicker, which I thought that was exceedingly good timing.
Crackerjack timing, even.
Oh yeah. And you missed a bit. He goes, "Are you ready, Jack? I was born ready," which is a typical hard man response. I will catch up with the chat. I don't know. I apologize, but I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, because I am having so much fun with this. This is like one of the best films. I mean, when you say cult classic, this says it on the tin. It's a cult classic.
Tip of the spear.
It's one of those films you could just put on again and again and still not be bored of.
Yeah, you never do. That's the thing. I could watch this twice a week if I was desperate enough. If I got nothing else to watch. And I don't think I would be bored watching this. It's just such a great movie. It's got this is the epitome of like the ultimate 80s fun action film. It's got everything you want. You've got your fast-paced action. You've got your kung foolery. You've got a bit of comedy, a bit of fourth wallage going off every now and again. And the writing's good. To say this was going to be a Western set in 1866 or 1899. But yeah, they modernized it, and that's how it got its ticket into Hollywood. And it's just fantastic. So Jack and Wang, it's a funny, you know, if there'd been two Chinese blokes, you know, and other one were Chung, it'd be Wang Chung. I'm here all week. Nobody get
I got it.
Yeah. Sorry.
There you go.
There we go. You've been dying to press that button.
Tonight.
I have been dying to press that button. I've been quite reserved.
I know, and I appreciate it, matey.
No problem.
So the plan is to go into the Wing Kong exchange, and they pose as a couple of phone engineers, and they're going, "Where's that back panel?" And he walks in with a phone. Like that makes it convincing. They're both dressed in Canadian tuxedos for a start, and you know. Does he look like he's from Openreach? Does he fuck? He looks as dodgy as hell. And Wang's giving it all like, and he's like, yeah, it's all right. We'll go in the back. And this is going to be quite relevant. If you haven't seen this, MC said he's only seen it twice. Crikey. You need to get checking it out. It's really, really good. And Lord, I'm just going to put this on the screen because I think this is quite good. Lord Toxic says in the chat, the funny thing being, Jack doesn't know he's the sidekick.
Correct.
True.
Hey, Toxic.
And Timey-Wimey-Limey says, the script is solid. True. No confusion of what's real or who's oh, here we go again. Now then, right, you're going to like this one, Pete. There is a picture later on in the slides where we have proof that Wang is a replicant. Trust me. Stay with us. You will see a picture of Wang the replicant. That's all a little bit later on. But I like that. That is a good comment. That statuette there is going to be very, very important a little bit later on. Gamer's giving you a bit of a shout, Bastard. There we go.
Thank you, man.
Follow Northern English Bastard on YouTube. There's the link. Nice. Thank you, Gamer. He's a good lad. I will honestly get round to everybody in the chat. I'm so I'm not slacking. I'm not lagging. It's just this is just too compelling for me. So anyway, that'll be important later. That statuette thing there. I mean, it looks naff, really. It's tacky. And then they're under CCTV watch. This is before CCTV was actually a thing everywhere, because it's here, there, and everywhere. And Jack says, "What does it say on that door?" He says, "It says you've got a small knob, Jack." He says, "Really?" He says, "No, I'm just kidding." It says, "Don't enter." Which, really, that should be on Kim Cattrall's fun box. Because I've heard it's not fun size.
No, certainly not.
Ooh, that's why they call her Lassie. Ooh, it's all right. So back at the Black Pool of the Dragon or whatever. Should we just call it the Chinese? They're back at the Chinese restaurant. And Grace is like, "What's going off?" And Eddie's like, shh, shut up. Cause Egg's here. Egg is the ultimate knowledge on Lopan. He's been after Lopan since Lopan was alive the first time. And apparently Lopan had been a ghost for over 2,000 years. So that makes Egg over 2,000 years as well by
That's a
process
very
of
old egg.
elimination. So anyway, back at the Wing Kong Exchange, if you noticed under Jack's feet, there's a couple of lines there, and they like go, "Oh, look at that, a couple of drag marks there, like two people are carrying somebody else." So they go moving these boxes around, and they find a lift or an elevator, depending on where you are in the world, and all the buttons count down in Chinese, or does he say downwards? Doesn't he? Wang says it. No, it doesn't. Not counting up, counting downwards.
Down. Yeah.
Yeah, which is kind of an odd thing to say. But they're not that daft at the Wing Kong Exchange. They think, yeah, we've cracked this. We've got it sourced. But hang on a minute. Oh, the lift's stopped. The lights are out. And Wang thinks he's at a Scorpions concert because he's got his fag lighter out. It's not that kind of concert, Wang or Chung. And it starts filling up with water. And Jack being Jack, he manages to get the doors open. If that'd been me, I'd be screwed. I wouldn't be able to get my fingers in that. I'd be swimming with the fishes, see? Somebody's put in the chat, Lord Toxic again. Let me just put this up on the screen. China, here, Mr. Button. Which reminds me of a thing I saw on Robot Chicken once, where they did a skit with that, where Uncle Chew's pointing at a map of China. It's here. Jack's
here. I love Robot Chicken. That's just fun.
I don't know. It kind of jumped the shark for a while.
Yeah.
But everything does. Nothing is forever. So yeah, they know they're in trouble, and oh dear. Come on, slides. This is what gets me about Restream. It really does make me look a twat sometimes. So they know they're in trouble, and they're obviously captured. What was that? The Hell of the Upside Down Sinners, wasn't it?
Yeah. This is one of the many Chinese hells.
So Rain's giving Wang a bit of a slap. I mean, it's not the first time he's slapped his Wang.
Right. Okay. You know what? We'll give it to you. That
The punishments are wasted. Thank you, sir.
I'm so glad I didn't make a fucking drinking game out of this.
I know, you've been pissed as a twat.
Oh, yeah. Well, we would have had to get you to the hospital, for sure.
You'd have had to have ordered out for a kebab by now, at least. And Jack, being the hard guy he is, he says, "Hey, you, come over here and fight me like a man." But Rain manages to source up a little ball like the ones Paul Daniels used to pull arteries at. And he gives it a bit of a puff. And he puffs really hard. And he ends up giving Jack a couple of sore conkers straight in the mummy and daddy button. What a good shot.
It's firing those balls straight into his balls.
For balls.
Yeah.
What makes me laugh is, why have they got all coal all over the floor? That's weird.
You've noticed all the balls on the ground there. It means he's been doing it for a bit.
Yeah. Old Rain likes balls.
Yeah.
Especially Wang's.
Likes blowing on them, too.
He does like blowing on balls. I heard he sucks, too. Well, that's a different story. All these punages are coming thick and fast.
Kind of like the movie.
Yeah. So anyway, Rain has stuck on some fancy kit. Apparently that wig took 3 hours to put on, and it cost $3,000, that wig.
Huh.
Bizarre. Like you just stepped out of a trailer. So they take Wang and Jack to Lopan's office. These statuettes in the background are very relevant later on. But if you notice, later on there's a scene, and you can tell they've got like a little relay inside them where they let go. We'll talk more about that later. That's for the special effects department. So Jack says, "Where are we?" And Rain goes, "You are nowhere." And then this door creakily opens up, and Jack and Wang.
Jacking and wanging.
I know. Yep. They're dead curious. And out pops Lopan, David Lopan. Well, they don't know it's him yet. They just think it's some bloke from a Stanner Stairlift advert. He's one of these actors who just appears out of nowhere every now and again.
This makeup here, the old man makeup he's got on, that was Rob Bottin who done the monsters in the
Yes.
film.
He does the
Rob Bottin is a legend, man. He did because he did Howling as well. I mean,
yeah. And he did all the special effects on the thing as well. Yeah. He did the monkey demon man, the ginger, wherever it is. He did that as well.
And what about the fish thing, the eel? I think he did that too, didn't he? The one that grabs that guy, that big blue thing.
That underground demon creature. Also, the flying eye of Lopan as well.
That wasn't him.
The monitor. Who did the monitor?
I believe that's right. That was Jim Henson's Creature Shop.
Really?
With all the eye. But the guy who made it was called. Are you ready? Are you sitting down? He was called David Yip.
Nice.
But not the David Yip you know.
All I need is a woman, Mr. Burton. A special kind of woman with dragon green eyes to make me whole again, young again, that I may rule the universe from beyond this grave.
Qingdai, the god of the east. Who, him? This guy?
No, not me, Mr. Burton. My demon, the god I must appease in order to regain my heart, my blood. A girl with green eyes to satisfy Qingdai. A girl brave enough to embrace the naked blade. And when I find her, I will marry her.
Never!
Then Qingdai will be happy and my curse will be lifted.
Go off and rule the universe from beyond the grave.
Indeed!
Or check into a psycho ward, whichever comes first.
What a bunch of exposition.
Oh, yeah.
All I need is a woman.
Oh, if you're going to insult your captor, you've got to do it in style. And Jack does do that in style.
Yes.
Yeah. He talks to him like he's this desperate virgin looking for a woman. It's like 2,000 years to look for a woman. Come on, you must be doing something seriously wrong.
Yeah. Stark, do that again. Do the indeed again. That was shit.
Now you listen here, Mr. Burton. We have you now.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, this really pissed me off to no end.
Yeah.
So great, man.
I love that. That is just it. There's a lot of things in this film which are wrong, but so right at the same time. It's such a it contradicts itself, but does it in the right way.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell James Hong is having a fucking ball here as well. I mean, Christ, how old is he now? 96 years old. He's still going. He's a legend.
It's cracking on in age, isn't he?
He's still doing Lopan, isn't he? And get-togethers and Comic-Cons and things. He's still dressing up as Lopan.
Yeah. I can't fault him, though, to be fair.
No.
So, yeah, why not? Why not?
So they get taken, Jack and Wang get taken away. Oh. I love this bit.
Thunder and his ability to manipulate his size.
Yeah. Aesthetics go, this is awesome.
And the incredible feat of strength that comes directly after this.
Yeah, look for the wire. Apparently you can see it. Oh, I haven't yet.
No.
That was a bit dramatic. He could have just rolled it a bit further forward, couldn't he?
He
Yeah.
could have. That's
And I'm
not his style. Not
Yeah.
Jack Burton's style.
And I just realised I've titted up somewhere, and I'm not quite sure where I have titted up, to be fair. Oh, well. But anyway, this is where Jack, after that scene, where he gets that Tech 9.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a pivotal tool in the film. And I'm glad he swapped out that 38, because that's more Eddie's style. That's a pussy gun. So anyway, Thunder gets out, and the look on his face, it's like, is he pissed off, or is he just like, is he just like,
He
I
is
don't know.
delighted to have a worthy opponent.
I think so. He's been outsmarted.
Yeah.
And I'm quite rather concerned I've got some slides missing. But I like this bit here. Give over with your fucking excuses. Find them.
You must find them. I don't want to hear any more excuses from you.
And this is where he turns from Lopan Old Man into Lopan the Wizard. There was because I had to be a bit economical with the slides, because we're in daft territory, the amount of slides that there is for tonight's show. But when that nail comes out, it tings, it gives a little sparkle, and I was going to use that, but I thought, no. So he turns from Old Man with flesh to Ghost Lopan.
Yes.
Which is quite useful for being a perv, because this is going to pay dividends for him in a minute. He's got a bit of a sheen to him, but he can mutate through walls, which is good. And when you've got a super duper power like that, what do you do with it? That's right. You feel up your potential wife's breasts. Oh, Marion, I'm having a handful, Marion.
I feel like I just got hit by a truck, but you know,
I'm enjoying my pie. Leave me alone.
It's try before you buy. You have to have a go before you get married.
I wonder if there's a fortune waiting for me inside.
You need to do research on the goods before you purchase.
Into the help desk. You're the lower of the tone tonight. It's not Carrie Fisher. No, it's not a coke nail. No, it's not a coke nail. Flav says, Lopan, the mascara is not his colour. I wouldn't know about ladies' makeups, but thank you for telling us, Flav. The more we know.
Yeah, he's
Would you like to know
Chinese.
more?
It's an opium nail.
Oh, this is that bit I was telling you about. You know the guy who's not really Chinese, but he just squints his face up and looks a bit piggy.
Mm-hmm.
He's in this several times. Look at him. If he's Chinese, then I'm a goddamn Chinaman.
Chinese jet pilot.
Ashen Prism. You read my mind, sir. It says copying a magic feel. I bet it is fucking magic as well. Would you like to go on that Susie pie? Oh, yes, please.
I wonder if there's other
Susie hair pie.
Yeah.
So, this is one of our first little fighty shooty bits where Wang starts. He's subconsciously using his skill set, isn't he? He's not aware that he's sort of like beefing up mentally and becoming a bit of a hard guy. Eddie's cacking it, and Jack's trying to figure out which one's the safety. And when he gets it off, he goes bang, 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 and that bloke's on the floor. And Eddie says, "First time you plugged somebody?" "No, of course not." Which it obviously is, because he's just bullshitting.
Yeah.
So they go up in a lift to this level where... How did they know where people were kept prisoners? I mean, Eddie's obviously said, yeah, I came in with Margot and Gracie. But how did he know? What level? Yeah. Did he get it in a fortune cookie?
We got a fortune cookie from Lopan.
So Margot's lapping this up. She's writing it all down. It's like she's doing a fucking GCSE English homework. Oh, I've been incarcerated with a lot of sweaty Chinese lasses. They're all wanting me in the showers.
I was supposed to go to prom with Chad as well. I'm not going to get that chance. My life is ruined.
Oh, he's never going to see my ginger. He's never going to see my ginger tuppence. So anyway, Jack's monkey barring it across, and Wang is pretending that Eddie's his captive, and he's like going, and these lasses come running out, and they've got these amazing bamboo stick things that chuck out sleep gas, knockout gas. And this lass here, Lai Chiang is her name. She's been doing the 30th anniversary circuit and Comic-Cons and stuff.
Yeah.
She was only a young lass there, and I'm not kidding. She looks quite tasty still. So she must have been like 18 or 19 there. Definitely.
She's very pretty.
Yeah. Until she smokes you. And she smoked Wang. She smoked Wang. Hey! Inadvertent punnage. So anyway, a bit of inappropriate slappages going around here. I was in two minds whether to show these pictures because they're not socially acceptable anymore, and I don't want to upset a snowflake or three. You know.
What do you mean the 90-pound woman could not defeat a 210-pound man?
Yeah, but, she's like got nunchuckers and magic bamboo sticks and whatnot. And Eddie's like, yeah, I give this lass a slap round. I could take this bitch. But she gives him a bit of a slapping around anyway, which is quite fun to see. And Jack's like, Margot. And she's like, Jack. But done in a really hammy way. That'd take some filling, wouldn't it?
Right.
It's like, I've seen that pose before in a couple of rum videos from Germany where women sort of pull that look. Yes. Grateful for a faceful. And the fight continues. And there's let's see if I included there's a nice picture, if I did include it, where Wang is played by somebody else. So Jack starts shooting out the locks of all these imprisoned women. And he's quite a good shot. He only takes like 2 shots and he's done it. And this is quite a kinky scene. Jack gets to untie Gracie, and she's been gagged for some strange reason. I can't imagine why anybody would gag her.
Hogtie. I mean, to be fair, he does, drive the Pork Chop Express, so he's definitely good with working with pigs. So.
I've got visions of him now, making hitchhikers squeal like a pig.
That's right.
You're going to pray for me, boy. That's a different film. Moving on. So Wang's avoiding getting a slap round, and that's a proper look. That he looks like a Sabutio figure, doesn't he? Nobody ever plays Sabutio. Oh well, never mind.
Oh yeah, yes, all he has to do is flip around on the pole, doesn't he?
Yeah, but she looks quite tasty when she's sparked. She's out for the count. Should I have a go?
Yes, another fortune awaits me.
And Eddie's like, don't you fucking dare, dude. Me too. It'll come back and haunt you later on, mate. Don't you get touching air tuppence. You'll be in trouble. Anyway, Thunder turns up with all his cronies, and Wang knows he's in some big shit, so him and Eddie split. The elevator is conveniently filled with all these girls, and these guys here come with their shooters. Narrowly missing Eddie and I'm sick of saying Wang. Can we call him Keith? That'd be easier.
All right.
Or Dave or
call him Short Round. He's Short Round.
Dumpling. So anyway, Thunder as usual. You can't imagine Thunder being pissed off at everything, but he's pissed off. But I thought I'd get that shot just for you, Melv. I thought you'd appreciate the aesthetic of this particular scene here. They all make their escape through some water pipes, but that doesn't leave a deal to the imagination, does it?
No. She's got looks like she's got a fucking what are they called again? Dental floss wrapped around her there. Yeah.
I don't know, but she could do with a dunk. She's been in prisoner cell block H 3 months. She probably stinks like last week's spring rolls.
It's probably closing it out with the others, who knows?
Yeah. So Wang turns up with Eddie, and they jump in the drink. Bad guys turn up and start shooting. And if anybody's watched Mythbusters and saw that scene about getting shooting in water, they all make a nice exit. And oh god, Grace.
The first kiss.
Well, not yet. Not jump in the gun. So she grabs hold of Wang. Where's Jack? Dunno. She grabs hold of Margot. Where's Jack? Dunno. And then she asks Eddie, where's Jack? And then you got the rest of these lasses all swimming through. And Jack pops up out the water and she's like, oh, yeah, I'm moist, but it's only because I've been swimming. But he's a bit of a cheeky sod, isn't he, Jack? Because he cops a snog, doesn't he? Bless him. And you can't fault him, really. Because it's that lass from Mannequin.
Yeah, 1980s Kim Cattrall. She was... she wasn't too hard on the eye back then.
Every time
she went good in Star Trek, though.
Yeah.
She's got
Every
a bow
time I hear
head.
the words Kim Cattrall, I think of that Crow T robot skit where he's just like, Kim Cattrall, Kim Cattrall, Kim Cattrall.
What was that? I must have missed that.
You were a mannequin. It was a very good movie. Kim Cattrall, Kim Cattrall, Kim Cattrall. Oh, it's I can't remember what movie they were reviewing, but that song stuck in me. Like, I've had that song forever.
Oh, this seems quite interesting. We should have done this. Drink every time Jack Burton says Wang from
I'm not going to
Stupenzo.
the hospital.
Oh, we'd be leathered already.
Mm-hmm.
So Jack gets a crafty snog. I hope he ain't got bad breath. But she's digging it. So they quickly discover that they're in a sewer. And not once did I see a turd floating in that water.
It's true.
Yeah,
So,
let's one in his mouth before he fucking kissed that one.
Chinatown.
Oh, man.
Very sanitary sewer.
I hope nobody farted in that tunnel while they were swimming through it. And that's the worst thing you can end up with at the swimming bath, isn't it? Is a mouthful of somebody's arse gas. Oh, dear. So Jack finds a ladder, and it leads into this storeroom. And they're all like, oh, what's behind the door, Jack? And he's like, hang on a minute. 3, 2, 1. He cracks the door open, and these guys are just conveniently waiting for him. He slams the door, and he's like, okay, we might be a bit fucked. Hide. And that guy, that Fu Manchu geezer, he starts kicking the door in. And, Jack's there ready to start shooting them. And Wang's starting to believe in himself. A little bit of a Neo moment there, isn't it? Because all the way, there's like certain parts in this film where Wang starts believing in his abilities more and more, and he becomes the GOAT really at the end of it. Yeah. So Jack starts getting rid of these guys, and then his gun jams as it happens, and then Wang starts kicking ass. Wang kicked his ass. Wang kicked that guy's ass. In fact, if you look, the same guy got his ass kicked twice in this scene. Even though it was already Sparkoed. Bit of an editing error. And I love this bit. Jack goes to get his knife out. And it's probably just you, Melv. I'm not quite sure. He chucks his knife and it goes flying off. So he has to go looking for it. And while he's doing that, while he's fannying about, Wang's continually kicking ass. And this is like proper kung fu movie cheese. You could tell they must have had a lot of like people in the know saying, this is how you pull this off and make it look serious while you're actually taking the piss out of the genre. Because they do kind of do that in places, if you think about it. Wang polishes these guys off like a takeaway. And he's quite robust in places. And then Jack comes out going, "Argh!" being all hard and shit. And then he looks around and everybody's out for the count. In fact, let me go back. Is that guy? Yeah, that's that guy again, but in a different position. Good old John Carpenter, making use of what you got. So Jack and Wang make sure the coast's clear and they try and get everybody out. And Grace is there to help these girls get out once Jack gives them the nod. And Egg's outside with Uncle Chew, waiting patiently. And you're telling me Lopan knows Egg. And he can't sense him outside like a Vader and Obi-Wan moment. You'd have thought there'd been a bit of that kicking off, you know what I mean? If they're so magical and mystical, there'd be a bit of a rumbling.
Well, it's in the script, sometimes you just can't question these things.
Well, perhaps we are able to hide our power so that we do not get seen.
Hello there.
Horrors are only convenient for plot.
Yeah.
Plot armor, best magic
Convenient
spell
plot
ever.
devices. So anyway, this statuette in the background, keep your eyes on it. You know what's coming.
Yeah.
Oh, now it's got dodgy eyes like in a Scooby-Doo movie where there's a bloke looking from behind a picture. I hope Velma gets her tits out. Wrong film. So anyway, Jack's looking to see if the coast's clear. Wang says it's not a fucking lighthouse, mate. And he pops out and says, right, stick them in the air, lads. And then Wang gives everybody the all clear and people start filtering out. They start making a run for it. Eddie looks really dodgy there and he's got a really stupid grin on his face. And that lass is looking a bit, you don't think he's stuck something in a bag, do you?
Oh, help desk with the chat.
What's that?
Look at help desk's most recent chat.
Hang on a minute. Is it this one?
Yes.
Oh, nice one. You'll be going to the hell of the upside down sinners.
Correct.
Stu Penzo says we should be drinking at this point, and
No.
I can't afford to do that.
No.
It's
Hell of the
getting silly.
upside down help desk.
Yeah. So anyway, this door opens up, and you know, silly bastard, you don't just stick your beacon and go, we don't know what's in there. It could be a xenomorph. It could be a facehugger for all you know. No, it's this big, massive, fucking, God knows, looks like Timothy Spall on acid. We'll see him in just a second. So he's saying, don't move, guys, if you know what's good for you. And as soon as they get out the door, they're straight on the phone. And Jack and everybody else are all getting into Egg's tour bus. And then these Wing Kong security guards start coming out and start obviously shooting the bus. But if you notice, there's a continuity error. When the bus takes off, when Egg puts his foot down, there we go, and it takes off, you'll notice that the left-hand side of the bus, when it turns that corner, I didn't get it all in the shot, but all the windows are in one piece. And Jack's there going, yeah, we did it. Holy shit, we did it. And Uncle Chew's proper pissing himself laughing.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this. This is
the happy guy.
Yeah. Thing is, I mean, look at them contact lenses. They're atrocious. I mean, I know it's the 80s and we can't expect the miracles and super duper technology and special effects and practical effects that we've got now, but they're shocking. They just look so fake. But I love this guy. That is a face for radio's radio, isn't it?
That is the happiest face for radio. Though. Look at that smile.
I wonder if she's on OnlyFans.
Commercial.
if that was on OnlyFans and it had got tits, there'd be people paying to see.
It looks like Christopher Lloyd.
What? Him? I don't know. It looks...
Doc, I'm so glad you're still getting work.
It's like it's looking at us saying, I am your vagina in 30 years.
I think we're going to call this guy Ginger Muff.
Ginger Muff.
Yeah.
Because that's what he looks like.
Seems fair. I don't think he has a fucking name anyway, so...
Harry's just looking for the Hendersons, okay? Come on now.
Wannabe Chewbacca.
Yeah.
So he ties her up, chains her up, and then rain and thunder come in. And they can't believe the look because he's like, hey, have you seen? And so the guy goes, yeah, I've seen. And then Gaffer comes in because she's got green eyes as well. And he's like, cock-a-roop. He's like, whoa, 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 I get a three-way on my wedding night. Do you? Do you get a three-way on your wedding night? No. We'll see what happens anyway. So what do you think up to this point, lads? What do you think?
It's just fun. It's just fun. I mean, it gets straight.
It is, isn't it?
Like I said,
It's
get straight to the
fantastic.
point, and we've seen a little bit of a character development between Wang and Jack Burton as well. And even Jack Burton shows he is a little bit handy in his own bumbling kind of way. He still helps out. He still frees the slaves, but it's the climax that is just worth every bloody penny. It really was.
Yes, it's all about the climax, isn't it? At the end, you've got to have that happy ending, haven't you?
Yeah, we're blokes. We live for the climax.
It doesn't stop for a breath, this, does it? The whole film.
It doesn't.
No.
It's bang, 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 bang. It's like a pneumatic drill. It's just going and going and going and going.
There's a lot of dialogue as well.
Oh, yeah.
Like in almost every scene they're talking.
There's always something in every scene. This is the film. There's not many boring bits.
No.
John Carpenter's very good in editing because he'll go, that's not working, that's boring, we're losing pace, keep going, keep going, keep going. And people underrate him for that. And some of his films are dog shit. I mean, Ghost of Mars, for one.
Yeah, God.
No,
That is bollocks. That is the biggest pile of trash ever. But I suppose with the pedigree he's got on paper, I think every now and again you're allowed to fuck up, aren't you, really? You get a pass.
You know, there's one thing I never liked about John Carpenter was his music.
Oh, he does like to do his own tunage.
I think he should have splashed out and got a professional.
Funny thing is, the guy who he does most of his scores with and synthesizer stuff is a guy called Alan Howarth. And do you know what Alan Howarth is famous for in Star Trek?
What?
Right, in Star Trek the Motion Picture, you know when they went to warp speed after Mr. Spock had turned up and fixed the engines?
Oh, it's not the guy who does the noise every time they fucking went. It's that weird. It's been a while since I've seen the motion picture, though. It has.
No, not that wormhole bit. It's it does the bit where the engines go. You know that ramping up sound of it, building up its speed. Yeah, he did all that on a Prophet 5 synthesizer. Sad how I know that. Don't ask me how I know. I love this scene here where Thunder says, "Pray your cards right. You'll riff to talk about it. Pray your cards right." Is that a new show with Bruce Forsyth? Pray your cards right. Hey, that'd have been a good show, wouldn't it? The best of Play Your Cards Right and the best of Songs of Praise. Thora Hird could have presented it, and it'd be Pray Your Cards Right.
Right.
Okie dokie. Hooded Man's off to bed. Thank you for joining us so far, matey. Do take care.
Yeah, I think Thora Hird was probably dead before Bastard was born. They might not know who you're talking about.
Yeah, you never know. Anyway, Grace finds herself in a room where Mao Yin is floating like a floaty thing.
Dana Barrett, is that you? Oh, wait.
Well, she sleeps above the covers, 4 feet above the covers.
That's right.
She's still cracking, she is. And then he's going, Are you Mao Yin? And look who's perving. Perv ghost. That's all he does. He fizzles through walls just to, have a bit of a perv. He's checking her ass out and he's like, which one am I going to do first? Do I have a Chinese or do I have American food? Oh, pussy, pussy, pussy.
That's right.
And she's like, who are you? And he's going,
I get freeway.
I am Lo Pan. He'll be Fu Manchu-ing something at the honeymoon. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
Oh, and then he gives her the death eyes and the death breath. Gives her both barrels, which is kind of good, really. And then our plucky heroes, the Chan Sing and Egg and Wang and Jack, go to Egg's place because he's a rich guy. To Eastern Eyes, some of these things in these jars are priceless. Yeah, I wouldn't want to fucking eat round at Egg's house. I don't know about you. I'd have to be really desperate. And they've got this like fire pole thing, which leads to the underground. And it's like, we need to go down there. And Jack's like, well, hang on a minute, what's down there? And he says, oh, you'll find out. And if you notice, Egg's already got that 6 demon bag on.
I need one of them.
Yeah. We'll get to that scene where they have a bit of a tipple. Well, that I love that bit. That is just, it's class. We'll have a clip of that later. So they go into this underworld where apparently 1,000 years ago the world turned upside down and many unnatural people walked the earth. And some of them are still around.
The place for that, isn't it?
Yeah. Some of these people are still around, like Nigel Farage and most of the people in politics. Hey, I had a guy come to the door the other day, and he was wanted to run to be a local Labour councillor. And I just said, oh, you are effing joking, aren't you? I says, you can chuff off. I says, Conservatives can chuff off. I said, you like penguins. He said, what do you mean? I says, you know the biscuit? He went, yeah. I says, it don't matter what colour you are, you're still the same thing. Doesn't matter what colour you are. Anyway, moving on.
Was his name Wang?
No, his name was Joe, apparently. So in a private ceremony, Lopan goes, "Ah!" And if you notice, when Lopan gives the storms orders, they go, "Hi," which is Japanese for yes, not Chinese.
Yeah.
Which is bizarre. Silly little continuity errors like that. And for
one
once,
of the actors that played the storms is actually Japanese as well.
Yeah.
Which one? Because it's not.
Rain.
Rain. Rain. Ah. Yeah, because the Carter Kwong, he's from Hong Kong because he, like I said before, he's big in the Hong Kong cinema industry. For once, Gracie's kind of quiet and subdued. And then Thunder starts doing this prancing around. In fact, out of the lot of them, he does the biggest grandstanding and does this amazing thing with his choppers. He's got his choppers out in front of the girls with his leopard skin wristbands. That's not gay at all, is it?
No.
So anyway, they continue through the underground, and Egg's leading the way. Obviously, he knows what he's doing because he knows what to look out for. But when Thunder's finally finished fannying around, dancing around like he's auditioning for fame, Rain steps down, and he's quite modest with his little performance.
Mm-hmm.
He's very delicate on his feet, like a sparrow, and he does these little kicks, and he comes wandering down. And there's Susie Pie. What kind of pie? Hair pie.
It's low punch pie, no touchy.
Ah, well, we'll agree to disagree there. So this is the trial of the burning blade.
Yes.
And I like this because they both grab these swords. They both grab the swords. Nice. And they do this thing where they like clasp the hands together and they start going... And they all look like they need a shit really badly.
Mm-hmm.
They start pulling this face like they're constipated. And they start doing the thing. And they're making the magic happen. And the burning blades light up. And they've got to survive the trial of the tame the wild heart of the dragon. If they survive this trial, then Lopan can marry them. But, Gracie, she's quite feisty. But we don't know about Marion because we don't know what she's like, really. We haven't got enough backstory about her.
Right.
But I will say the contact lenses really do suit her, but not Kim. Very bizarre. So they touch this ball, some random ball. And
it's not gay unless the balls touch.
They both handle that balls, yeah.
it makes the dragon's eyes glow.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, which is kind of a euphemism. And Lopan's like, I can do them both.
Before he sacrifices one to the demon.
Yeah. Well, he's getting a twofer, isn't he, really? I mean, he's a bit of a jammy bastard. But then again, if you are getting married, why not have your pick? You can have your cake and eat it, I suppose. And he comes from a culture where chicks have to do as they're told, right?
Yeah.
It's like that line from UHF where that woman rings up RJ Fletcher to complain, and he says, "I've always told my boys to never call chicks broads." That is a great film. We'll have to do that one time.
Weird Al, yeah.
Oh, he's a great guy. I met him once years ago. He is weird.
Yeah.
But in a good way. Anyway, I'm waiting for things to load. Oh, I'll be so happy when I get on Restream. Hopefully. So anyway, Jack's like, what the hell's that? It's like there's something breathing under the water. And it, more than likely is. And this guy's lollygagging behind, and he gets chewed up by one of Rob's creatures, shall we say. That he's got a certain style, hasn't he, Rob Bottin? I like that. It's very organic.
That thing doesn't look happy like the demon.
Yeah. Well, he's getting he's having a Chinese for tea, so he's kind of lucky, really.
Yeah.
It's takeout.
Come out no more. What will come out no more?
And who knew that marbles were so dangerous? Egg chucks a load of marbles in, and with explosive results. They must be special marbles.
He cast a spell.
That's
on the marbles.
If this fucking slide ever loads, thank you. So there's a nice big, lots of green explosions. Whether that's a Chinese thing, I don't know. But it's a nice touch in this film. And like
I
you
wonder
said, Stark, he says, then you'll come out no more.
Right.
do you think all the explosions in China are green?
Possibly. There is a distinct possibility that's a thing.
Chinese fire must be green. It's Chinese.
You never know.
We don't like red
Maybe.
explosion. It's too
Now-
Japanese.
Yeah.
That headdress that Kim Cattrall is wearing is very similar to the headdress from the sorceress in the 87 Masters of the Universe.
Another John Carpenter connection, because that was Meg Foster and she was in They Live. It's a small world, is Hollywood. So anyway, Gracie manages to like wake herself up from Lopan's spell, but then Lightning, he
Yes.
comes in and starts running up an electricity bill, and it makes their eyes go a bit funny, and they go a bit glazed over, both of them, and they're basically zombied at this point, but in a good way. And during this point, Jack and his merry band of Chinese men go scuttling through a tunnel, and they slide down into this fish room. He lands on a big pile of fish, and then when he gets off, this guy takes this really... You know how they say, if I can hear you eating, I've already plotted your death? That's one of these situations, because this guy goes... And I'm like, Jesus, I would just knock him the fuck out. And then he offers him a bite. He bites the head off the fish, and he's like, later. But he's so deadpan with his delivery. You don't know whether he's being sarcastic or whether he's just being like Jack Burton. Is he just a sarky fucker deep down?
Maybe he genuinely wants some fish later.
You never know.
Gotta
You
get
might be
some
getting some... You never know what happens in Chinatown. What happens in Chinatown stays in Chinatown.
Correct.
And we'll leave it there. So anyway, Egg says, I've got a solution for this problem about fighting supernatural beasts and beings, but we'll talk about that later. And what's in that pot? It could be anything. It could be dragon piss. It could be tiger semen. We don't know. But we'll find out more about that little jug later. Anyway, his mate goes, which is Chinese for, hey, there's some blokes outside. Come and have a look. So Egg goes to check it out, and some dudes go wandering past. So they all sneak out a little bit, and then these guys come round a corner. So they all hide behind these statues. Jack's there ready with his shooter. Wang's looking rather wangy in the corner there. And it's like, oh yeah, they must be getting ready. That ceremonial dress must be getting ready for Lopan's wedding. And Wang's not too happy about that. So Lightning brings the brides-to-be down. And that scene, that set, is really elaborate for what it is. I mean, I know this is technically John Carpenter's first real big production in Hollywood. He's always been independent up to this point.
Yeah.
This was his...
Apparently, he wanted to do it better, but they cut his budget. They wouldn't let him, so he had to stick on all them disco lights and things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it was a relatively small budget for a film of the time, but it only made 11.1 million back, which is it's a lucky it did as well as it did, because financially this film has been a long-term investment for everybody involved. Everybody who's still getting residuals from the production of this film, they're getting a nice steady income stream coming in. Plus they get all the cons and stuff like that, and making appearances, and when a DVD comes out or there's a Blu-ray or a 4K release, that's something to celebrate. So it's the gift that keeps on giving for these actors, I suppose.
On the DVD commentary, which is John Carpenter and Kurt Russell talking about the film, they both said they never made any money out of it.
At all?
At all. They
I
never got
am
paid.
surprised. I'm very surprised by that statement, because at that time, I mean, I know Kurt Russell had been at this since the 60s, late 60s. You know, he was leading man material by the 80s. So you would have thought...
Well, you know, the Thing and Escape from New York was before this.
Yeah, true. That was 81. This is 86. So this is Lopan's... Go on, you were saying something.
Is I love the Castle Grayskull entrance. It's the other like Masters of the Universe like homage with the big skull doorway.
Yeah, but it's Evil Buddha's turn first. But this set is overly elaborate. It's as cheesy as fuck, but it's one of them you've got to take your hat off to it. It's catering to the like comic book nature of the story.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I was a supervillain, I'd want a supervillain layer that looked like this.
True. It's camper than a camp show, being honest. So anyway, they're trying to make the way to where Lopan is, and this monitor thing turns up, which is like it's the disgusting blob, what Ray was talking about, really, isn't it? This makes Slimer look like what's her name, Pamela Anderson in her heyday, if you think about it. Oh dear, well, this thing is fucking minging. That looks like my missus's best mate. It really does. If you stick a blonde wig on that fucker, you've got mate. Honestly. It's got like eyeballs on its chins.
Jim Henson.
Let me go back to that
signature on it because it's very Labyrinth, which of course came out around the same time. You could tell by the eye stalks. It's like the eye stalks from the moss at the beginning of the movie that like trace.
It's only forever, not long at all.
Not long at all.
Yeah. Now you mention it, yes, it kind of is labyrinthy because it's got a kind of like a dark crystal quality to it as well.
What did you expect fairies to do?
Yeah. So anyway, what that creature sees, Lopan sees, and he's going, Egg Shen, little bastard. And like Thunder and Rain are there. They look really bemused by this, like, well. So he starts talking through this creature, this monitor, and Egg just gets more and more pissed off. And it's like, I'm going to marry both girls, and I'm going to sacrifice Gracie Law, and then I'm going to have my way with Mao Yin, and I'm going to do a shit tons. And it like goes all smug like. So Jack gets his shooter out. He's like, I'm not taking this. This is bullshit. And he just starts shooting away at it, and it like goes, and it does one. It chuffs off. And he's like, what? You never know. And Egg's like, oh. That is just like a great, well, you know, if you don't try, you don't find out. So the lads find Lopan's office. And yet again, these statues are going to be they're very pivotal part of the sub-finale, along with that dragon statue there. So anyway, the wedding continues, the ceremony. And old Lightning, he's getting a bit excited with himself, isn't he? He keeps shooting off a couple of bolts here and there. And then the big man comes in, it's Lopan. And these guys, they fucking thunder. I mean, he's quite stern, really. But when you see his disciples, they wet through with Lopan. They think he's the bee's knees. He's item 9 for them. I mean, just look at Rain. He's like wet through, and he's stoked for his boss, really. As henchmen go, that's quality. If you're going to get a quality henchman, you've got to get one from China, I think. But Lopan's quite... he's not overly chuffed, I suppose, but he's getting married, which means no more football, no more going to the pub, no more doing what he's been doing on a Thursday night at the White Tigress. And there's, what did we call him? Ginger Muff.
Yeah.
Ginger Muff.
Yeah, so Ginger Muff is there too. He's having a good nosy. And then in Lopan's office, they find an elevator with only one button, which goes down. And all of a sudden, they get a shout from Egg. And Egg's like, oi, stop mucking about. Come here first. We've got something to do.
Cheers! This does what again, exactly? Huge buzz. Oh, good. Can see things no one else can see. Do things no one else can do. Real things?
As real as Lopan.
Hey, what more can a guy ask for?
Oh, the 6 demon bag.
Terrific. A 6 demon bag. Sensational. What's in it, Egg?
Wind, fire, all that kind of thing.
It gets a bit gay here in this elevator, you watch.
You're pretty good.
We're kind of invincible.
I'm not scared at all. I just feel kind of invincible.
Me too. I got a very positive attitude.
Look at all the
about this.
proud posing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here we go. Gay bit. Fancy a bum.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was getting he likes them old and short.
It's absinthe. That's what I've concluded that it is. It's
I
No,
like my guys to look like Asian Danny DeVito.
I reckon it's E in that bottle. Liquid E.
Yeah, that's got
Or a bit of E, a bit of GB, and a bit of Whiz, and he's mixed it all up, and he's going to be doing some wing dinging and chan singing and wang chunging a little bit later on. So they go down in this lift and come out, and they, stumble upon Lopan's wedding ceremony. And Jack's like, "Can I shoot him?" He's like, "No, hold on, wait till he becomes mortal again." So anyway, Lopan's got the needle of love, which is a bit of a euphemism for his cock, if you think about it.
Correct.
He'll be giving him some needle of love later. So anyway, these guys are watching intently for the right moment to strike. I'm glad you're still in the chat, Pete. You're going to love a bit soon where we prove that Wang is a replicant. So Lopan's sticking Mao Yin with his needle of love.
He got her for real as well by accident. She actually flinched when he was doing it.
Yeah, I noticed. Yeah. Not bad to say he's supposed to be a ghost at this point still. How's he even holding all that shit? How's he even got hold of a wrist?
Oh.
Has he got a bit of a pass? Is it a wedding pass?
Yeah.
Maybe he's a poltergeist. They can move stuff.
Yeah. Apparently he nearly fell off the... he was worried he was going to fall off those bloody stairs when he was walking down them because he was wearing these, 12-inch lifts, I think.
Yeah, he got platforms on, hadn't he? Yeah.
And he couldn't, and he tries to get my stuntman to do it. It's like, we can't get your stuntman. Sorry, he's just gonna have to do it.
That reminds me of a joke I will tell you when we're off air. I'm not doing it while we're on. It's a little bit tasteless, but I've got a cracking joke for you later, bastard. Don't worry. So he's sticking her with his needle of love, and as he finds out, he feels the pain and he's bleeding. So he's oh dear. He's stabbing her with his needle, and look at him. He's cock-a-root there, isn't he? He looks like he's won a tenner on a scratch card with that look on his face. So anyway, Wang's looking around, and he notices that monitor thing is just there watching, and it reports back to Lopan, and he goes, "Oh, they're over there. They're trying to ruin my wedding. They've come for cake." And all the Wing Kong lot, they're like, "Huh? Did you hear that bit where they're like, go, huh?" It's like Scooby-Doo moment. They're like, "What the fuck?"
It's like that scene in Fear and Loathing when all the reptiles looked up. When he's like, "Tell me about the fucking golf shoes." They're all like, "Oh."
And I've noticed Egg is really keen at chucking his rocks about what blow up. He's a bit of a dangerous fella. But then again, he's over 2,000 years old. And he blows a shitload of them up, which is good news. Wang's got his sword out. And he's got a bit of a beef with Rain. I think it stems back from when Rain was slapping him about in that wheelchair. But Rain's equally keen to give Wang a bit of a slap. He wants to slap his Wang, as you do. The punages I do not apologise for. But look at Lopan here. He's right going for it here. He's getting a bit keen, isn't he? Look at him. He's like, "I want to give you some prick, my dear." Do
you like the feeling of my little prick?
And this bloke's about to get a pain in the back or the neck. He gets that guy, and he's lay proper down. He gets it both barrels, and he comes up and gives him this finger sign, which they all seem to do, these Chang Sings. But Jack's feeling the vibe, and he gives him one back. And Lopan's still going for it. Grace has got, knocked on her ass and knocked off that podium. So Jack's like, "Hang on a minute, he's mortal now. I could do this guy over." So he goes to shoot him. And somebody grabs his weapon.
Thunder.
And you can tell, right, Carter Kwong's seen some action, because look at those knuckles.
Yeah.
He's had some proper, not just a bit of a scrap, he's had some proper scraps with knuckles like that. Probably been doing a bit of kickboxing on the side. So Jack's gone ashen-faced and looks like he needs a shit because he's been taken by surprise. And then Thunder smashes his weapon up in one go.
He pounds it into dust.
It turns into glitter.
Yeah.
Pretty much. No, we're not going there before anybody laughs at that one. That was a slip of the tongue. So, yeah, Thunder's like, what are you going to do, old man? So he chucks one of his magic rocks, and then boom, he goes flying. And he just goes, whoa! That's it. As you do, yeah. When
So you see that thing when it holds when they hold the finger up?
Hmm.
Do you think that's sign language for Wang?
You never know. But old Lopan, he's still cracking away with his needle of love, and he's stabbing away at Mao Yin. Look at him. He's like a kid in a candy store. So Jack's lost his gun. He goes to get his knife out of his boot, and it's stuck in, and he rolls on his back, and then this bloke lays on the top of him. Oh, that's how many memes could you get out of just one picture?
Right.
Yeah, he's spreading them. He's
He's taking it like a man. Come over here and do me like a man. Old Jack Burton. You know what old Jack Burton says in a moment like this? Have you had an AIDS test? Sorry.
Don't forget, Jack Burton gets some lipstick on his face later.
He does. So that's a cracking. And just in general, this whole scene is just well choreographed. It's well acted. It's oh bugger! I know what I forgot. Because I'm totally getting carried away with this. I'm just going to rewind a little bit because this has got to be seen. When they start kicking off, after they've been spotted by the monitor, there's this, and I'll press the wrong button. I'm totally dropping the ball. I am not doing this on purpose, but I'm just so carried away and enjoying myself with this whole experience tonight, guys. But this is too good to miss.
Guys!
That's right. He gets knocked out.
He knocks himself out.
Never fails to make me laugh every time. Every time.
It's just it laughed. This film laughs at itself while taking itself seriously. How many sort of like film contradictions does this film use? And it's unashamed. It just cracks on.
It's just fun. It just makes no apologies on being a fun movie.
And it shouldn't do. It shouldn't do.
Unapologetically funny.
Timey-wimey says, because he loves Blade Runner, Loplan was played by James Hong, who played Chew, the Eye Man in Blade Runner. Yeah, it was his voice that triggered my realization. Well, keep looking. There is proof that Wang is a replicant. It is coming. So Lopan's still having his way with Mao Yin. Oh, dear. It's a shame, really. She's a lovely lass. She's going to be scarred up, isn't she? So anyway, old Egg, he's going to do some blow here. He's going to blow his pipe hard and fire something at Lopan. And Lopan's ready. He's like, you little bastard. So Egg shoots his shot and misses by a mile. And this is great, because when that spark subsides, you can see the wire. Yep. You got to love practical effects. So it blows up that Buddha thing at the back. Gives it a good... got some great pyrotechnics in this. Meanwhile, Rain and Wang... Jesus, it's a good job we weren't doing shots. We would not be here now. We'd be on the floor. So Rain's still having it out with Wang. And Wang's getting a bit cocky now. He's like, yeah, I'm digging this. So Lopan says... peasant magic. You never could beat me, you little bastard. And they sort of like have a little fight with Rock'em Sock'em, but
the game controller with
he starts twiddling his fucking phones while doing it, going,
He's playing Mortal Kombat. They're playing Mortal Kombat.
I know, what the hell?
Yeah, but he's going for it like he's banging left 2 for all he's worth, isn't he? He's like, up, left, down, right, A and down. Oh dear. So anyway, they have this bit of a battle, but it's like the Schwartz as well. It reminded me of the Schwartz from Spaceballs a little bit. But their light turns into samurai warriors, and they have this little fight, and Egg's giving it his all, and Lopan's flicking him about. And they have this bit of a bout, and it all like crashes out. Excuse me. And it cancels him out, and he goes, "You never could beat me, you little bastard." I just love it, how he just taunts him. So Lightning's there, and he tries to Gaiden Egg, but Egg's a bit smart, you see, because he's got a magic fan, and he just reflects the lightning back. And the Lightning gets a taste of his own medicine. But hang on a minute.
Lightning gets Palpatined. That's what happened.
But that fan's obviously made out of aluminium or something. It's conductive. So Egg would have been a bit shocked, to say the least.
So the kid,
But if you remember at the beginning of the film, he had his own lightning magic. What if he had anticipated that with the lightning user and was like, "Yeah, your electricity can't harm me."
But he's finally had a taste of his own medicine. He don't like it. Got a bit of a rum look on his face. In the meantime, Mao Yin is whisked away by Lopan and Thunder. And look, there he is. He's a replicant. There you go, Pete. Look at his eyes. Look at the cocky wang. Look at that. Picture proof that Wang is, in fact, a replicant made by Mr. Chu. Well, that's just a technique of uplighting, using a mirror at 45 degrees to light somebody. And that's why the light gets in and bounces off your retinas and makes your eyes look red. But I just thought I'd stick that one in there for you, Pete. I hope you enjoyed that. Moving on.
His eyes.
Yeah. So they go into Castle Gay Skull.
Castle Gay Skull. Perfect.
Castle Gay Skull. Yeah. And they've taken the girl away. And then Lightning says, right, nobody else is going to get in there. And he lights up Castle Gay Skull. And it's a bit bollocks. In the meantime, Wang's had enough of rain. So he's looking hard as nails. And there he is with his replicant eyes again. There you go. And he chucks his sword. He's not having any of it. And he flies it up in the air. Nice bit of neon in the background. And rain gets it right in the tits. And then he ends up in Evil Buddha's belly and blows up. As you do. It's funny that they didn't realise that when Lopan got married and his curse was lifted, the storms technically became mortal. That's why they can get killed now. So anyway, Wang goes running after his missus in a desperate bid to get her back. And Jack's like, well, we need to get up this lift and get cracking and help Wang out. And in the meantime, Egg's like, this is an abomination. Let's get rid of it all. And he blows everything to smithereens, as you do. And you've got to have a bit of over-the-top pyrotechnics in a Asian film. Lift doors open. Oh, look who's in it. Ginger Muff. And she gives him a right good kick in the knackers. How did she know he'd even got knackers? Unless she had a face full when he gave her a piggyback.
Well, with that amount of hair.
I'll tell you something, though. Kim Cattrall's got a cracking set of pins on her. I'm a leg man. Oh, I like a good pair of legs. So anyway, Jack manages to do over Ginger Muff. That's only because he's been kicked in the nuts. And they go up to Lopan's back room through his back doors. Has anybody else been through Lopan's back doors by any chance?
Not like
Kim Cattrall is about to have. It's going to happen.
China is here, Mr. Button. I love that. Oh, he'll be showing Mao Yin where it is a little bit.
I got to blame you, Trev. You got me talking like Lopan to the point where I might bring him on as a side act on my variety show.
Hey, I think you should. In fact, I wholeheartedly encourage you to do so.
I think only it has highs for Wang.
Eye lasers, mouth lasers, it's all the same.
So anyway, they get into Lopan's little back room. And then this happens.
Gentlemen. Is it too much to ask, Thunder? Kill him for me!
For me!
Won't solve anything, Dave. Too many people around here been dropping like flies already, and where's that getting us, huh? Nowhere. Fast. You know what old Jack Burton always says at a time like this?
Who?
Jack Burton. Me.
Unlock this full power.
Old Jack always says, what the hell?
Oh, he's the atypical hard man. He's, you know, as characters go, I know he's cheesy as fuck, but Jack Burton is the epitome of the 80s action hero. So anyway, this leads on to this next clip.
It's a good knife. Goodbye, Mr. Burton.
Now just watch these porcelain brother things. When they start collapsing on the right-hand side, look how the bottom drawer conveniently gives way. Oh, you see it?
Oh, yeah.
Little relays holding magnets. And they de-energize the relays, and it unlatched the door so they could drop. And then porcelain, well, they were just plaster, weren't they? But they made out to be porcelain, and it just broke them on cue. But that is a great scene. I love it, where he chucks that knife, and he hits the gong, and they both turn around and look at him in the same way, and just give him that look of sheer disbelief. That is just that's great timing. Anyway.
It's glorious, like, and you know, in the way it's like shot, you have to ask yourself, did he deliberately miss just because he had the faith in his reflexes to get the double dumbass on him, or was it a legitimate accident and he had to pull it out of his ass?
I think it was a genuine tit up, and it was a necessary part of the plot line. So anyway. Now Lopan's dead. Wang's getting chased around by thunder, and then this happens.
Yes, the rage.
He's gonna stop.
The feet.
First class.
He just decides to explode.
I don't know, why didn't you just try and kill him anywhere with his sword? I mean, you could have got him.
Yeah.
The bizarre thing is, you know when there's that scene where he has steam coming out of his ears and his nose? He looks a bit like me. Oh, dear.
I understand that Thunder might have had feelings for Lopan.
I think there was a bit of bummage going off there. Secret wanton bummage. Do you think he might have been tempted by the dark side of the Force?
Yes.
You never know. What happens in China stays in China, Mr. Batten.
That's correct.
So our heroes try and make an escape, but there's one of the storms left, and that's lightning. And they find a convenient hole in the ceiling while lightning's showing off, and he's chucking his lightning about, as you do. And he sets fire to the ceiling. Now, Jack's the only one left at this point, and he's going to make a jump for it. But now the ceiling's on fire. They've got to make a sharp exit. So Jack magically jumps because he's had that magic potion, hasn't he? He can see things nobody else can see. Do things nobody else can do. And that's a cheap shot. Lightning tries to zap Jack in the nuts. That is low. You know, bro code, you don't do it. So anyway, Egg shouts, "Hello down there." And Wang says, "How did you get up there? Wasn't easy." It's just the delivery of lines. It's like the innocent, the timing is innocent but deliberate at the same time. And the way it comes across, it's like comedy gold.
I mean, it is a plot hole as well, but it's like, you know what, fuck it, we're just gonna move on.
Yeah.
Don't think about it so much.
This film rolls with its own punches, but does it in a way that's subtle. It's like it's having fun. It's not taking itself too seriously, and it just goes for it. It's just It is. It's a roller coaster ride. This film, from beginning to end, it's non-stop. John Carpenter's just going bang, 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 bang. He's just continually, chucking shots out there. And he's doing a cracking job of it. So anyway, they're looking to escape because they're in the subterranean labyrinth of Lopan's domain. And he's got this little crossbow thing, which conveniently sticks in stone. Who knew? And it's got a little pulley on it, and he sends Mao Yin up first. And if you notice, he cops a feel. As she's going up, he feels her arse.
Mm-hmm.
He has a really good grab of her right arse cheek, and I can't fault him, the jammy bastard. And he does the same with with Grace as well. And instead of Jack being left behind, potentially getting his nuts roasted off by lightning, he goes up, leaving Wang behind, and Wang's in danger of getting shot. But lightning has another go at Jack and misses. It's a shit shot.
How do you miss with lightning?
He's over 2,000 years old. He should have had plenty of practice by now. Why can't Gaydon get a decent shot in? So Wang's left behind, and his suit's kind of made me laugh because if you look, doesn't that look like a Japanese flight suit? Because I'm sure that's a rising sun on it, not a Chinese flag. Very bizarre. So anyway, Lightning's gonna roast Wang, and there's nothing worse than roasted Wang. Trust me, I know. So Egg has this great idea. He says, "Hold me crossbow thingy," and he grabs this big, loads of Buddhas. They must have had a sale on at Buddhas R Us, because there's more of these fucking thing hanging around. And he chucks it out that hole, and even Lightning knows. He says, it was then, at this moment, he realized he'd fucked up. And the guy's toast, and he goes out in a blaze of glory. And Jack's like, "Yeah, fucking got you, you knobhead." And he's proper done him over. And I like this. This little bit of lightning crawls up. Oh, the image is gone. Oh, bollocks. It does spell something out in Chinese.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Yeah.
I don't know what it says, though. Anybody Chinese in the chat?
Does anybody know how to speak
It is there. I can see it. It is there. It's just that I've got the numbers of the pages in the way. Yeah, so I wonder what that means. I wonder if it means you bollocksed or something of that fashion, or he's dead, Jim. I wonder if it's dead, Jim. That would be a good little nod to Star Trek in that, wouldn't it?
It probably says something like, "Up yours."
Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cage.
Yeah. So anyway, Wang makes a sharp exit, and they get in this tunnel, which conveniently leads to this garage thing. Big fires everywhere because of Lightning being a twat. He's set fire to the place. Jack's using his new acquired mega strength to open this locked garage door, and he goes, "My truck, my truck!" It's one of those moments where you do a double take because you don't realize, the thing you've been looking for all the way through. One of your main impetuses to get through this movie is to find your truck because that's your livelihood. And he goes, "My truck, my truck!" The sheer look of surprise on his face. So everybody clambers in, and Jack holds the door. And when everybody gets in, he starts making a run for it. These guys come out, the security, Wing Kong security, and they start shooting at Jack, but he's faster than a bullet now. And these guys, oh, hang on a minute. Let me just go back one. Anybody remember that guy in the middle in a yellow turban previously? In the alley scene?
Yes.
He was one of the guys with a yellow turban on.
They probably all were in that film.
Oh, yeah. I can't see there being a great amount of Asian American actors. So they start taking shots at Jack, and they miss because he's super duper now. And Ed gets one of his magic rocks out. Must be like popping candy. So he throws it at these guys. Hey, another Kalashnikov. I bet it's the same one. And they get the same treatment. Up in a puff of smoke, and they go flying around. So he's like, "Oh, they've took my key." "Yeah, but haven't you got another one?" "Yeah, but it's under the floor mat." And so he's got the key, fires it up, and he says a line when Grace says, "What was that?" And he says, 6.9 on the Richter scale. Funnily enough, bizarre coincidence, the next earthquake they had in San Francisco measured 6.9 on the Richter scale. How fucking spooky is that?
Chinese magic for sure.
Isn't it? Yeah,
Can't be a
foreshadowing.
coincidence. No chance.
It must have been
Has to be real.
Lopan. So Pork Chop Express busts its way out, and I love that grill, hauling ass.
Hauling ass.
That's proper. That is. If you're a trucker, my father-in-law was a trucker, and he didn't have anything like that on his rig because he's a numpty. Yes, you are a numpty if you're listening. Not
Did
bad.
you do you have the extra scene on this, or is this the wrong version?
This is the wrong version. But anyway, she says, can't you drive this thing? She starts backseat driving him already, and he's like, relax. So he takes off, and, you've got the fire brigade and the cops turning up. So Jack does one, turns down a convenient alley. She says, red light. So he slams on the brakes, and then Wang and Mao Yin have a snog in Jack's cab, and she's like, oh, isn't that nice? Oh, is it lovely? She's all wet through, and Jack's like, yeah, nice. He's getting some, I'm getting nothing. And he's not too chipper about it, to be fair, is he? If you think about it. So, anyway. Anything, got anything to say about things up to press?
Internet help desk in the chat has the translation. The symbol translates to woodworker, or in this instance, carpenter. So it was Carpenter just leaving yet another watermark, quite literally. And,
where did you find that? Did you go deep on IMDb?
He's the internet help desk. It's his thing.
I know. He's shit up. If you want to know something, hey, have you got a link for us? For that penthouse from 1981 featuring Susie Pie, because that'd be really useful. Because we're nearing the end of the show, and I've got a spare quarter of an hour before I go to bed. I might want to try and get repetitive strain injury. Moving swiftly on. So they're all celebrating back at the Dragon of the Black Lagoon or Black Pearl or wherever it is. And there's Eddie in a suitably 80s cheesy jacket. He kind of looks like Miami Vice, but Chinatown version. And he's obviously got a bottle of rice wine. And they're all celebrating. Look at them all. And I thought that Margot had got a pen in her hand, but she's actually got a cigarette in her hand.
That's some jacket he's wearing, eh?
It is, isn't it?
They steal it off a
proper. He's really clashing those patterns together, isn't he?
Yeah. But you look at Susie. She's she's got, ooh, yeah. I'm getting quite hungry for some Chinese. So Egg's celebrating. He's having a toke. I dread to think that's not Dutch shag, is it, in that pipe? What do you think he's got in that? Do you think it's a bit of...
Yeah, he's getting high, man.
There's a bit of wacky-backy going on there, Chinese style, It's probably some horny goat weed. And he says, right, I've done my bit now. I'm chuffing off on a holiday. And he's like, well, hang on a minute. Why don't you go back and visit the motherland? He says, China's in my heart. She's always with me wherever I go. And then Margot says to Eddie, why don't you conveniently pop round to mine later and you can help me write the last paragraph? She wants a wet fanny. I'm not kidding. She wants a wet tuppence. She wants some Chinese.
Yeah, and he's like, well, the others are getting along, so why shouldn't we?
What she doesn't know is that Eddie likes sword. Pork sword.
Wang. He likes Wang.
Yeah. So Wang gives Jack his money, which was he said nothing or double instead of double or nothing, which was like 1,000 and something times 3. So Jack's making out like he's got a huge fortune, but he's only got like just under $4,000.
But this shows you how big an asshole Wang was being at the start, because he didn't need the money if you can afford to give him that. He was just being a dick. He was just trying to get out of it.
Yeah, well, everybody tries it on, don't they?
Little fucking weasel.
Yeah, look at that jar of fortune cookies. I didn't notice that. I'd love to work in a fortune cookie factory. I'd put some right fortunes in, like, you're a bell end. That'd be funny, wouldn't it? you go for a nice Chinese meal, crack open a fortune cookie. Your girlfriend will give you chlamydia. You know, just some random shit like
If
that.
I was doing that, they'd all say, "Once upon a time in Hollywood is shit."
Yes. What? Don't you like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? You've took me aback by that.
I don't like it because it's shit.
Oh, come on. That
I
is
can't
just
defend it. I defend that movie.
It's Hollywood cheese, but it's hyperbole because it's Tarantino. It's done that way. You know?
They done it wrong.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway,
Apparently,
back to the good film.
Yes. This is quite good. Let me catch up with the chat. Theta Zord says, fantastic stream and topic subbed, and I'll check you later. Thank you very much. Timey Whiny says, a wet tuppence. You don't hear that on Robert Mayer Burnett's show. No, you don't. You hear it here, you know. We like to do things a little bit differently. We like to have a laugh, not take things too seriously. You've got to have a laugh, especially in modern times. Jack's thoroughly impressed with the amount of cash he's come away with, but it's less than $4,000. And she's like, you know, oh, have you got enough room in your cab for two? And Jack's like, you know, I rub everybody up the wrong way eventually. And he blows her off. And then, like, Margot's, are you even going to kiss her? And he's like, no.
No.
And she's like,
Suddenly
see you
turned
around,
gay.
Burton. And he goes, never can tell. I think he'd finally realised he didn't need her. He's going MGTOW. He's doing better than that. He's not simping for pussy. He's not giving up his lifestyle just for Gracie Law. And that's refreshing. This is a film well before woke times.
He's a loner, Dottie. A rebel.
True.
And actually, at this point, it made me think it was just all talk.
Yeah, a little bit, but like you say, he's a loner now, and he's realised he's a loner. He doesn't need anybody else because, you know, when things go wrong, you know, he's having to double his efforts. He's having to sort somebody else out while sorting himself out. So he's doing the right thing by not getting anybody else in trouble or danger. Would you agree with that?
It's a good point.
Well, you could say that, but I mean, he didn't have to marry her or take her away. He could have just slipped her a length, you know.
Well, yeah. He could have took her in the bogs.
It's like he's been through a lot. He deserved something at the end of it.
You know,
I don't think he wanted to take advantage of her, though, even though she probably was up for it. But I think he felt, nah, I don't want to use this woman. We've kind of already been through something, and if I gave her one and left, it wouldn't be good. And I'm certainly not fucking marrying her.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed. Went woke at the end.
Sorry, Mal. He didn't even go in for the free victory shag. And that takes a lot of resilience to resist a victory shag. But look at her. She's like, you bastard. You absolute bastard.
Yeah, she thought it was a low life when she first met him, but after seeing what he went through, she's loving it.
But like I said before, you know, he was wet through with her. He wanted her, and she wasn't interested. Now she wants him. He's not interested. He's turned it around on her. But he's done it in such a subtle... The script has turned it around in such a subtle way. You know, and now Jack's got all the power. He's told her no. But, you know, that says something. He'd sooner have a wank than do her. So he must know what he's doing. It must be that juice what Egg gave him. He can see things nobody else can see. He can do things nobody else can do, but he can't get rid of those scabs off his knackers.
Maybe at some point.
And I love this line. I love this line here. He goes, we really shook the pillars of heaven, didn't we, Wang? And he gives him the old Wang Chit. No, what was it? I forgot. Chang Sing sign, whatever it might mean. Probably like, yeah, go fuck yourself. Dick cheese. That's what it means. You've got dick cheese. And old Wang's giving him a cheeky look. And he's like, see you around, Wang. So he's back on the road. He's doing his thing. He's on his CB, and he's kind of like he's preaching, isn't he? He's using his experience and using it to advise people. You know, if you listen to Jack Burton on a wet and stormy night, you know, when the rain's coming down like sheets thicker than lead, he does some good diatribes, which are quite amusing. But there we go. We get one last look at that logo, the Pork Chop Express. What a name. I love that. So anyway.
Flying pig.
Yeah. We pan to the back of the rig. And he's got a bit of a stowaway. Who is it? Is it
Smiley?
Ginger Muff.
It's Ginger Muff. That's, hey, what if that was really Grace? Come in for you, Jack. You're going to have my ginger fanny whether you like it or not, love.
Grace is the weremuff.
Oh, my God. You're having this ginger muff whether you like it or not. He said no.
Every 28 days, she transforms.
Oh, God. The muff's coming for revenge. Revenge. Big Trouble in Little China 2, The Revenge of the Muff. That'd be good. I'd rent that. Blockbuster could open up again with a movie like that. Quick thoughts on the films, guys.
Who goes first then? Shall I go first?
Yes, you go first, matey.
Because it's unapologetically stupid, but it's done in such a way that, in such a tongue-in-cheek way, a very self-aware way that you can't help but love it, and everybody is on board for the joke. And they all look like they're having fun, and sometimes that's what you need, just a good daft movie to have fun with. And it's a well-made daft film, I should say.
It is, you're right.
Yeah.
And it's unapologetic about how it delivers it. It's just, the pace is just, if you miss it, we're carrying on. And it's kind of like the way Clint Eastwood films his films. It's like, right, come on, keep moving forward. It's a bit like this lass I used to go out. She used to shag like a JCB going through concrete, and that's kind of how this film is.
That's a powerful image. This here is like, it reminds me of Raiders of the Lost Ark in that, well, because it's action all the way through, but it also it's kind of like, it seems kind of inspired by them 1950s serials, except it embraces the humor a lot more.
It does,
and
it does it subtly, but in your face at the same time, which sounds a bit of a contradiction to explain, but it really does sort of. Go on.
Back in the day, Barry Norman didn't like this.
He
did
didn't.
A review, and he gave it a really bad review. But I think he just didn't get it. I think he honestly didn't get that it was supposed to be a comedy.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't get this fucking movie as well. But it seems like it's getting more and more love every year that it comes out,
and it deserves it.
It does.
I mean,
when they say cult classic, this is the epitome of a cult classic.
You can picture people sitting watching it going, this is stupid, this bit's stupid, that couldn't happen, this is silly. You know, you can see people saying that, you know, you can, it's one of those
nowadays,
things.
yeah.
Yeah, you just don't get it though. But this deserved, well, I would have liked to have seen what John Carpenter would have done with it had the studio not messed him about.
True.
But it really, this film could have had 10 sequels and they all could have been great.
Definitely. How this film did not get more arses in seats at cinemas is beyond me.
The bloody marketing, that was the whole thing. That's the one thing that ruined this movie's chances of hitting big at the box office.
Which makes me think, what else did Fox have coming out in 1986? I'm thinking Predator.
I think it came around
Aliens.
Aliens, yeah.
Yeah, there was Aliens and Predator.
A month after this.
Yeah. So maybe it was a bit of collusion.
Yeah, plus John Carpenter was having disagreements with the producer, Lawrence Gordon, I think it was as well, because he was one of the guys just interfering. He added that scene at the beginning where they try to make Jack Burton more heroic. It's like you said before, it was the film that really got him disillusioned with ever using a big studio again.
Yeah, true. Well, it made him leave big time Hollywood. This was his one real experience of working for a big studio, and he said, "Screw this! I'm going back to independent." Tony, what's your big take from this movie?
This film is just a solid from beginning to end. If you're looking for comedy, you got it. If you're looking for schlock, you got it. If you're looking for good practical effects, you got it. If you're looking for good kung fu, you got it. It's one of those movies that just unlocks dopamine and serotonin in multitudes all of the time at such a machine gun pace that it does not know rest. As the kids would say, zero chill. It's something that will stand firm on its quality for so far so good, and for 30 more years, at least 30 to 50 more years. This film is just beautiful. It has inspired me to do a side act, but also Trev kind of pushed me into that when I said indeed. So
Mr. Button.
That's right, Mr. Button.
There you go. You can have a. It's a good knife. Goodbye, Mr. Button.
It's a good
James Hong is just so fucking fun in this. He just
so-
goes so over the top. He doesn't care.
Why didn't he do that in Kung Fu Panda? He was a chef in that. And Jack Black's character, the panda, could have handed him a knife and he could have gone, it's a good knife.
Got some noodles.
Yeah, that's another thing. All the actors were in on the gag here. Eh? All the actors knew. What
Oh, of course.
It was
this
self-aware.
it straight.
It was so self-aware. It didn't
This
care.
was like a pantomime for them. They were loving it.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody who's talked about their experience on this film, not one person had a bad thing to say about John Carpenter or how things were on set, or there were no politics. And everybody came away as fast friends. A lot of these people who were in this film are still friends to this day because of this film. And I think that's great.
Yeah, and I think there was only like one time he lost his cool, and that was when one of the squibs went off a bit early. And that was it. That's the only time Kurt Russell recalls him ever losing his cool with someone.
Carpenter said that this was the most fun film he ever made as well.
I can imagine. And
Yeah,
it is a fun film. Everything... it's got a bit... whoever was responsible at Fox for the marketing of this film needed sacking because they did a piss-poor job of promoting and pushing this film. And the critics weren't kind either. I remember Barry Norman on Film 86 back in the day. He was rather critical of this film, and he just called it basically a pile of crap. He thought it was junk.
Yeah, he didn't like anything unless it was black and white and in French.
Yeah, he was a big fan of film noir, wasn't he? But I noticed he was very dismissive of aliens as well. And he destroyed Predator and Commando.
Yeah.
In fairness, Commando wasn't very good.
Yeah, not every film needs to be Casablanca or Citizen Bloody Kane. I mean, sometimes you just need something that's unpretentious fun.
Yeah, you don't want to... Thing is, when I go and see a film, I want to switch my higher reasoning and thoughts about the world off for a couple of hours at least. I want to enjoy a movie experience where I'm immersed in the story. I forget about my troubles and I get entertained in a way that makes me forget my problems for a couple of hours.
This is the one thing I love about John Carpenter's earlier stuff, like from the 70s all the way to the early 90s, is most of his films kind of have this schlocky look, but at the same time, he seems to know how to do it right in filmmaking terms as well.
Yeah, he put his stamp on his style really early on. And have you ever seen Dark Star? That was his first production in college.
That's the one film I've not seen of his. I've seen a few. I've seen his Apocalypse trilogy. I love In the Mouth of Madness as well, which is, I think, is one of the rare times he really goes full on abstract, which I really love.
But it's a naff film. It's badly made. The sets are a bit of a joke. The storyline's a bit thin on the ground in the wrong places. But it was the first outing for Dan O'Bannon as well, who was half the team that wrote Alien. So from small beginnings, these guys had a big wake in the industry.
Well, Alien was very loosely based on the story of Dark Star, wasn't it?
It was indeed, because they brought an alien on board, which turned out to be a fucking beach ball with claw feet.
That was really stupid, I remember that. But it's a student film, it's just... Yeah. They released it later on. It got a cinematic release in some places as an actual film, but it wasn't a real film. It was just a student project.
The first time I saw this film was, do you remember Movie Drome on BBC Two, hosted by Alex Cox?
Yeah.
That was the first time I saw that. Do you want a bit of a cheap laugh before we wrap things up, guys?
Yeah, why not?
Cheese, here we go. You'll love this. John Carpenter.
I love it. I love this. It's totally fucking stupid, but I still love it. I'll listen to it.
Obviously,
I'll watch the video.
Sound off because I don't want a copyright strike.
I know, YouTuber bastards do.
I know, but I've got a cracking bit to pause it on. But I just love this video. Look at that. Test footage of Lopan.
Look at him. He's so happy.
And he's like pretending to edit the film. But these two other guys are actual directors of other films.
Yeah, they actually work on his movies as well. They're film crews and they're part of his band.
Hey, watch this bit. I love this where he's on the back wall and then there's lightning coming out of the screen. But look. Oh, I need to pause it. Let me just go back a little bit here. I want to get a good shot of this guy. It's Bobby Boucher from The Waterboy. Yeah. What's he doing?
I know.
It's fucking Adam Sandler.
Look at the jackets. Look at the jackets. It's a proper 80s. It's a Jay Gales band.
Yeah, but you'd think that guy on the keyboards, he'd have fucking dressed for the occasion. John Carpenter looks smart. And, you know, he was only 37 there, but he looks 65.
Oh,
he was in the film as well.
He always looked
an uncredited scene in the film.
Yeah.
It's the guy who left Nick Castle.
That's right.
Yeah, he's actually got a good fucking voice in him, though. He does like the high bits, doesn't he? While John Carpenter does the bass bits.
But look at him, Bobby Boucher. That's some high quality H2O right there.
See,
well, I
Mama
love this
always said alligators is ornery because they got all them teeth and no toothbrush.
There's no foosball, Mama.
If you show me a poopage, and I like them too.
That's it. Kick him in the frigging balls. Well, that is just a cracking piece of cheese just to wrap up on. Yeah. Guys, thank you ever so much for joining me on this. This has been an absolute blast.
Oh, yeah.
And thank you to everybody in the chat as well. Friday, well, the Fubar might be back this Friday. We're just having a bit of a change around of things, but we'll see how things work out. Northern English Bastard, would you like to give your channel a plug, sir?
Yes, just subscribe on my Northern English Bastard channel, and at the moment I'm going to be trying to see if I can do another little review on the latest episode of the last episode of Reach if I can, and the same thing for Daredevil Reborn. And Saturday I'm going to be getting a few guests, and we're going to be discussing the Tom Cruise Jack Reacher movies in since the Reacher series is out, and it's good to sort of see how they compare now.
Nice. Tony, do you want to give yourself a bit of a plug?
Yeah.
Do it in a less audiophile way, because last week you hurt my eardrums and I've got a headache this week.
Well, I've been mellow all night.
Treat me like Mao Yin, nice and tender.
Okay, then. I suppose we could go with this route. Indeed. We are having a game show. Indeed, a game show in here approximately 27 minutes from now. And it's going to be movie trivia with You Don't Know Jack movie edition. It'll be very fun. It'll be happy fun time, like fortune cookie, like jade eyes on an Asian woman. It will be very erotic.
And the racism's free. Thank you very much, Tony Stark.
Of course.
Melvin, your final thoughts before I press the button.
Final thoughts. It's one of my favorite films. It's shocking it was a flop and deserved so much better.
It does indeed. Anyway, thank you guys. Thank you for joining me. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Sorry I didn't get round to you and give you my fullest attention, but this was just a roller coaster ride. I really enjoyed this. And I put a lot of work into this, and I hope it comes across. If you're watching this on the replay after the stream, do leave a comment below. And even if you're watching live now, leave a comment below the video, because I love replying to everybody's comments. I like interacting with people. You don't get that on a lot of channels these days. They get quite big, and then they start forgetting where they're from and start ignoring people. I don't ever want to be like that. Thank you very much. I'll let you know about Fubar Friday, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thank you for tuning in.
Later, people.